Walking with only Mion to school made me miss Rena a lot. What's wrong, Kecha? Why are you looking around? What? Oh, nothing. It was the same old path to school, but I felt nervous for some reason. I wondered what Rena meant when she said she was going to win a come-from-behind victory last night. Did she know that I'm into pegging? Da, da, da! Sorry, it was also really bad. I couldn't stop feeling like something dangerous was going to happen. Rena thought Mion was one of her enemies. She could be lying in wait to attack Mion with a knife! Don't worry, Rena isn't going to do something as rash as that. Even if she does, I could protect myself. Mion said it brightly, as if trying to tell me she wasn't afraid of anything. But I couldn't be optimistic like her, because I knew exactly what Rena was going through. Rena must be determined by now. She probably wouldn't mind dying fighting against Mion if she wasn't going to win anyway. Of course, that didn't mean she was definitely going to take violent. Words. Bleh. Of course, that didn't mean she was definitely going to take violent action. Hello, Infinity, and what Mions have I played? Well, obviously, Higurashi, Umineko, Seconia, Steins Gate, Saya no Uta, Fata Morgana, God, there's a bunch. A lot of English visual novels, a lot of lesser known ones. I'd have to sit and think on it for a bit. I mean, because it's been like years and years and years and years. I mean, obviously, like, there's Fate Stay Night. But I couldn't deny the possibility either. This old man is more concerned about the reason why Nana went crazy all of a sudden. Was there any reason? I remembered the tragedy. The greatest, most awful... How did that go? Fuck, how does it go? Shit. What was it? Hold on. I remembered the tragedy. Come on. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. I remembered that. Oh yeah, I guess I've also played Danganronpa. Oh yeah, Muv-Luv. Oh fuck, I love Muv-Luv. Oh god, Muv-Luv. Not White Album, but Muv-Luv. I mean, I actually, not to interrupt and toot my own horn a little bit. I actually read Muv-Luv back in the day, double dipped, and was a backer for the what's the word? Kickstarter for Muv-Luv. I actually have on my shelf over here the fucking big fat book from the Kickstarter. The what's the word? Codex. I have the Codex over here. Very cool. So yeah, I haven't played any of the follow-ups of Muv-Luv, and kind of disappointed where they've taken that IP recently. But you know, stay living. Couldn't remember what made the world go crazy. I remember we got lost in that awfully scary world. Started with small things, and those small things continued to pile up one after another. You thought about it calmly, you'd laugh because it was a really stupid thing. Once those little tiny stupid things started to bother you, you couldn't ignore them. It was that kind of disease. Oh yeah, alternative, of course. Yeah, alternative. Everything extra, unlimited, alternative. I played the main three, but nothing after yet. Yeah, I'm gonna get to it eventually. Aha. Whoops. That kind of disease, if you could call it one. But there must have been a reason. There must have been a reason that made the world go crazy. It must be such a small thing that you couldn't even notice. And unfortunately, the reason was very difficult to understand. And you wouldn't be able to figure it out until you died. I have a relative who is a doctor. Mion, you have a relative that's a goddamn everything. He said that if you have a tumor in specific parts of your brain, it can change your personality, make you a totally different person. People who suffered from this disease used to be considered haunted by devils or possessed by foxes. People I hate this word. People dramatized it like it was something occult. You mean Rena is something from a physical disease in her brain? In her case, it might be better to say that it's a mental disease. Rena was upset and mentally unstable because of the murder of Rina and Teppei. At a time like that, that stupid Oishi told her about what happened to Tomitake-san in an exaggerated way. I think Oishi-san and Takano-san's scrapbooks have many things in common. I'm sorry, Takano-san's scrapbooks are not a devilishly handsome detective. Really? Like what? Well, he believes in the series of mysterious deaths in Hinamizawa, but that's a delusion, isn't it? Is it? I mean, something that actually did happen 5 years in a row, but I think there is no series of murders in the first place. It was true that the mysterious incidents happened 5 years in a row, but they were each solved individually. It was the same as a past you didn't need to talk about. We thought of them as mysterious. We thought of them as a series of mysterious deaths, which is why we thought something was going to happen this year too. It led us to think that there was a conspiracy, and that the Sonozaki family was behind it. We connect those things to the series of mysterious deaths, but we shouldn't do that in the first place. Just like I tried to keep my distance from Nena when I find out about her Just like I tried to keep my distance from Nena when I found out about her dark past. Wasn't everybody trying to keep their distance from the dark past of Hinamizawa? Takano-san's scrapbooks are a good example. She dramatized both recent incidents and old cruel history. She made feasible stories out of them, saying the Sonozaki family was behind it all. Oishi-san did the same thing, too. He was so convinced that the Sonozaki family was behind it all that it was making him interpret things the wrong way. In that sense, we could say Oishi-san believed in the same delusion as Rena. No, I mean, yes, we could say that because he did. I think the Sonozaki family is partially accountable because you guys act like you're behind it every time something happens. In this village, people think it's the doing of the Sonozaki family whenever something strange happens. It's like a magic word that makes everything settle down. It's like those people who say they can explain all phenomena in this world with plasma. Oh, and what's that supposed to mean? Are you saying all of this is the Sonozaki family's fault? Exactly, it's all your fault. So I'll call you Plasma Mion from now on. What? That sounds like a wrestler's name. Well, I like professional wrestlers. Hey, Kei-chan, do you know what abdominal stretching is? Where is this going? Stop! I don't want to wrestle with you in this freaking hot weather. No, that hurts! Stop! And thus the legend of Plasma Mion was born. Good morning, Keiichi-san. Sorry, I'm just adjusting my sling. Give me a second. Getting a little more comfortable. There we go. Good morning, Keiichi-san. Good morning. Just do that. There, that's better. Atoko and Nika-chan looked a little sad when they saw only two of us. If the three of us came to school together like always, they would have been really happy. Our classmates were as noisy as usual. Nobody seemed to make a big deal about Reina's absence. Chie-sensei was going to be here soon and she'd start morning homeroom. Everyone was fooling around, as if they didn't want to miss a second of the time until then. Hey, something stinks today. Close the windows. Silly, it'll be hotter in here if we do that. It smelled like gasoline or something. And it really stank. Someone from the forestry service must have been putting gasoline into the construction equipment or something. The students near the windows were making a fuss because they wanted to close the windows to shut out the smell. Our school wasn't a normal school compared to others. We were using a part of the forestry service building. Unusual things like this happen sometimes. This definitely doesn't connect to what Mirena came over to talk to me about last night. This is nothing. I remember they once brought a few big piles of juniper branches. That was awful. It has this distinct odor that gave us all headaches. Ugh. What's a juniper? That's the name of a vegetable. We sometimes put it in curry. You should look for it next time you go grocery shopping. Huh? I know little about vegetables, but it sounds like it would be better to make Rika and Keiichi-san taste it first, just in case. What? Our ball is missing. You hit it again, didn't you, Hojo? The boys seemed to be looking for their ball for a while, and they yelled at Setoko. Why would I hide such a stupid thing? If I was going to hide anything, I'd hide something better than that. Hey, Chie-sensei's coming. Everybody take a seat. Hello, everyone. Get to your seats. What a wonderful day. I kept thinking about Rena the whole time during class. I thought about what she said last night. I wonder what her come from behind victory means. According to Takano-san's delusion, the masterminds behind the bioterrorism were the three families, and a group of fanatical believers that controlled those three. In other words, the Sonozaki family. What could Rena do alone against them? Mion lived with her grandmother, the leader of the Sonozaki family. There were only two of them in the house. It was possible that Rena would try to break into the house with a knife. I'd already come up with that possibility last night. That's why I called Mion and warned her. Sorry, getting a drink. Gatorade! Well, actually, this is, I think, Powerade. Delicious electrolytes. This is not sponsored. On the way to school this morning, Mion told me some bodyguards from the Corps had been at her house since this morning. She told me she'd be guarded herself, too. There was a black car parked near the school gate. They must have been the bodyguards. But, according to Takano's parasite theory, the battle wouldn't end just by attacking the leader of the Sonozaki family. According to the delusion she believes in, the conditions of her victory were more complicated than that. She needed to expose the group of fanatics who were behind the Sonozaki family. And she needed to destroy their research on the parasite. Plus, Rena didn't have much time left thanks to that suspicious poison she mentioned. But how exactly could she win a come-from-behind victory under circumstances like that? She might interpret that the town council are a group of fanatics, the group of fanatics, in fact. If so, she might attack them the next time they have a meeting at the shrine. The town council meets once a month at most. It would be hard to believe that they were holding a meeting today. She probably thought the place researching the parasite is the EDA clinic. Rena suspected that there was something fishy about the clinic from the beginning, and that suspicion must have changed to certainty in her head by now. Did that mean she was going to attack the clinic? This wasn't like an action movie. What could she do all by herself? Was she going to start a fire? Oh, that would be pointless. In order to expose the conspiracy, she'd have to get proof that they were actually studying the parasite. Was she going to break into the clinic and get questionable, weird samples? The last problem of all was how much time she had left. If she believed she didn't have much time left, especially under desperate, disadvantageous conditions, she might try to stab whoever she thought of as an enemy. But Rena sounded like she really believed she would regain her happy, peaceful days after everything was over. And that probably meant she was going to stay alive and win. Was there something like an antidote? It didn't have to be real. As long as it was an antidote to Rena's delusion, it didn't matter what it was. It could even be the water you washed your vegetables with. If she thought she could get the antidote so easily, she wouldn't have been so desperate about the time she has left. The antidote must be difficult for her to get. The easiest place for that in her delusion was that it was hidden somewhere in the clinic. Putting all together like that, I felt like Irie and the clinic were in danger. Now that I thought about it, the elderly people in the village, including the members of the town council, hung out in the waiting room of the clinic all the time. If most of the board members happened to gather there, for her, it'd be the perfect place to attack. I told Mion about that during lunch break. If this were a normal situation, I'd say she wouldn't do such a stupid thing, but I can't actually deny the possibility. I'm going to call my house. I'll make sure that they send some people to the clinic. Mion didn't object to my crazy idea. She put down her chopsticks and went to the teacher's office to make a phone call. It sounds so dangerous. I can hardly believe Rena-san is going to do such a scary thing. Are you sure she's going to attack the clinic? Maybe she will, maybe she won't. But if that happens, we're screwed. We need to prevent that disaster from happening. I hope nothing happens at all. Okay, I'll send 2 of our subordinates to the clinic. I don't think she'll do it, but you'll never know what's going to happen. Can we capture her by force if she does? Honestly, I don't want to do that. What do you think we should do? We made an agreement with the cops that we're going to give Yugu Rena to them right after we find her. So even if we use force to capture her, we won't get in trouble. I'm not worried about losing face, I just feel sorry for Rena. I really want to settle this calmly if possible. Well, she's still young, so as long as she didn't kill someone or something, all she has to do is apologize and everything will be fine. Well, then she might be out of our hands. Well, I mean, you know, as long as they don't find out about it, she'll be safe. She'll definitely be safe. Nobody really cares about the disappearance of those 2 anyway. People think that they ran away somewhere because they did something wrong. Those things happen all the time. So she's fine. Don't worry about it. She's out. She's safe. What? Are we playing baseball now? Anyway, please just be careful. Will do. So it's okay to capture her by force, right? Don't make any mistakes. You have to get her. Please don't make it like a chase scene or anything like that. I couldn't help but have a silly chat with Kasai-san. Are we having Mion perspective? Neat! Put the phone down, I sensed Chie-sensei was looking at me. No wonder she had been able to hear the conversation clearly in this tiny room. Chie-sensei put her spoon down and, with a sad look on her face, she asked the following. Were you talking about Yugu-san? Yes. Sonozaki-san, do you know why Yugu-san ran away from home? You're close, aren't you? It was hard for anyone to understand in a situation, except for me and Kei-chan. So most of them just thought Rena had just ran away from home. But after she did, the cops made too much of a fuss over it. Oishi stupidly believed that the scrapbooks were a big scoop and he overreacted in trying to find Rena. He had patrol cars running around everywhere in the village, even used the town council's phone directory to find her. So people in the village thought Rena did something wrong and was trying to run from the cops. What was going to be difficult for me, more than finding her, was to make up a story to retrieve Rena's honor after they detain her. What about this? Rena went for a walk, fell down and hit her head on the edge of some tofu and lost her memory. Oishi misunderstood something big time and he thought she was a criminal. It was too easy. Anyway, we did make it clear that Oishi was the one who misunderstood everything at the meeting the other day. I had to make the best use of his name while he was feeling down for once. What I'd have to do was to not make a big deal about this situation, and to create an environment that allowed Rena to forget everything that happened in order to get her life back together as soon as possible. Everything is going to be fine, Chie-sensei. Rena is a little sick right now, that's all. The fat cop somehow made a lovely mistake and got things twisted around. You don't believe that Rena did something wrong and that she's trying to run from the police, do you? Of course not, but making her family worry by running from home isn't a good thing to do either. She had a fight with her father and she ran away from home for a little while. She acted childish, and that's all. Maybe that'd be the best story to go with. I wonder if she had some problems she couldn't talk to anyone about. I must be a bad teacher because I never realized it. I wish I could have sat down and talked with Yugu-san before all this happened. Chie-sensei, you're taking it too seriously. You need to relax. It's normal for young kids nowadays to run away from home for a while. Oh no, what am I going to do if Yugu-san becomes one of those bad kids and starts doing really bad things? Ow, ow, ow! Yugu-san becomes a bad kid. Dong. She does something bad and gets arrested by the police. Dong. It's her teacher's responsibility. Dong. I'll be dishonorably discharged. Dong. I can't eat curry anymore. What? Is it not showing the last thing? I'm dead. Hey, whoa, this is a bug. This is a legit bug. I'm dead. Oh no, oh no. Chie-sensei seemed comically upset by her own imagination. It looked funny, so I decided to leave her alone. I made to leave the teacher's office to go back to the classroom, but right then, the phone rang. Hello, this is the Hinamizawa branch school. Chie-sensei had to answer the phone all day today because the principal was on a business trip. The manly man principal. I exited to the hallway. Then I heard the tone of her voice change. What? Where are you right now? What? I yelled and looked back at her. It was probably Rena. She called the school. I tried to go back inside the teacher's office, but Chie-sensei gestured at me not to come in. Chie-sensei acknowledged what Rena was saying several times, and then she looked up at the clock. Okay, I'll be there. I'm your teacher. You promised me, all right? She said only that, put the phone down, and got her purse out of her locker. Class president, I have an emergency to take care of. I'm going out for a while, so please have everybody study by themselves while I'm gone. She took her car key out from her purse. It was obvious that she was going to see Rena somewhere. Chie-sensei, was it Rena? That's all. You're in charge of the class, okay? Chie-sensei completely ignored me and ran out into the hallway. She ran out to the schoolyard and got into her car. The moment her car left through the gate, I ran out through the schoolyard myself. I headed for the black car parked near the gate and knocked on the window. How are you doing, milady? Everything is quiet so far. I know, but I need you to follow that car that just left. I think she's going to meet Nana. Understood! Nana is very paranoid, so you need to be careful. Bring her to my house right after you catch her. After that, follow Kasai's orders. She's my friend. My Tomodachi, my Nakama, my best friend. You better not get her hurt. Nana must have told Chie-sensei that she wanted to talk to her alone. I could tell that easily from the way she ignored my question. I did feel a little bad for ruining their promise. It was very important that we caught her before she did something wrong. We could still make up an excuse that she was just wandering around because she had a fight with her father and ran away from home. But if she set fire to the clinic or something, there would be nothing I could do. The car made a rough U-turn on the gravel road and it chased after Chie-sensei's car at full speed. I watched the car until it was gone. All I could do now was pray that this would be settled calmly. Hey, pay attention everyone! Well, we need to study by ourselves for the rest of class today. So get back to your desks and study quietly. Self-studying? Yon ran up to me and spoke quietly. Rena just called. What? Really? Yeah, she just called the teacher's office. I think Chie-sensei went to meet with Rena. Rena, I wonder what she's gonna do. I have no idea. Anyway, I told my bodyguards to follow Chie-sensei's car. I feel bad for Rena, but we're gonna capture her there by force. I hope it works. They're used to doing this kind of stuff. I'm sure they'll do fine. If they catch her, is everything going to be over? Yeah, we'll send her to a hospital. If the doctor sees her, I'm sure he'll find a typical kind of disease or something. It'll be like obsessive psychosomatic disorder or whatever. While we were spending our afternoon studying peacefully, the members of the Sonozaki family would capture Rena, who was waiting for Chie-sensei somewhere. The problem would be solved. It wasn't going to be easy after that, but I was sure Mion would take good care of her. And in the end, everybody would understand that Rena just ran away from home because of a silly fight with her father. A happy ending. Problem solved, right? Mion winked at me. She looked like she already thought everything was over. But that just didn't sound right to me. I couldn't see any connection between Rena and Chie-sensei. Hard to explain, but there was something wrong. I wasn't saying that they didn't get along. Rena was a good student, and Chie-sensei had a good relationship with her. I just didn't understand what Rena wanted from Chie-sensei. While I was thinking about it, the door opened and one of our classmates came back from the bathroom. With Rena. Rena! Everybody stand up. Move to the center of the room. Everyone gasped in surprise. Even Chie-sensei couldn't make everybody go so quiet all of a sudden. And it was gripping the shoulder of the student who came back from the bathroom. In her other hand, she had a big, scary-looking hatchet. It was the same one she had the other night. Uh-oh. Everyone immediately understood that Rena had taken a hostage. Are you all deaf? Move to the center of the room. Push the desks to the sides. Nobody grasped what she was asking us to do. We all froze. Rena was the only one who was smiling. It was terrifying. Michan, you're the class president. Tell everyone to move to the center. Rena, what are you doing? Bam! A loud noise washed out Mion's voice. Rena hit the teacher's desk really hard with her hatchet. She pulled out the hatchet, making an ominous ripping noise. There was now a line of violence carved plainly into the desk. Uh-oh, she broke it. Chie-sensei is gonna get mad when she comes back. No, that wasn't it! What the hell? I knew I couldn't trust you, Michan. I'm going to ask Keiichi-kun then. You're my only friend, right, Keiichi-kun? So I can trust you, can't I? I know your eyes. You look so scary. Never seen eyes like that in my life. Their eyes are full of insanity. Why are people afraid of insanity? Insanity means that a person doesn't share the same values and the same common sense as us. For example, say a thief breaks into your house and he ties you up. You'll get scared and wonder if he's going to stab you before he leaves, but you hope that the thief has feelings too, and that he's not going to kill you for no reason. No matter how bad the person is, we tend to believe in his goodwill so long as we share the same values, the same common sense, the same morals as him. But we can't expect goodwill from somebody who doesn't have those things. We can't expect goodwill from a person who can't communicate with us. When a burglar has a knife and you beg him not to hurt you, you expect him to listen to you and to show you mercy. In other words, you can still communicate with him. But if he doesn't have the ability to communicate, he's just like a monster that's trying to attack you, or like the blade of a guillotine that's falling down on you. You fear him because you can't communicate with him. That's insanity. It was the same fear we were feeling toward Rena at that very moment. She looked like a human, just like us, but there was no room for her to communicate with us like a normal person could. Everybody understood that fear instinctively. Keiichi-kun, make them move the desks to make room in the middle. Okay. Everybody, let's do as Rena says. Rena was like a barrel of gunpowder at that moment. She seemed really calm and quiet, but she could explode at any minute. When she did, I doubt she'd show us any mercy. She probably wasn't hesitate to use that hatchet on us. That's right, just like how I didn't feel guilty or hesitate to kill Rena and Mion. Everybody went all quiet while pushing the desks against the wall to make a space where Rena wanted it. Rena, saying that we're moving too slow, hit the blackboard with the hatchet, making a horrible noise. Every time she did that, she left an equally horrible scar on the blackboard, the thing we looked at most in the school. Keiichi-kun, did you get the jump ropes out from the lockers? Use them to tie our classmates up. I'm not good at tying knots. I probably can't tie them up very well. I'll check one by one if you tie them up well enough. If I find the ropes loose, I'll kill the person, so you better tie them up really well. We were still kids. We saw the word kill all the time. It was used a lot in comic books and cartoons, after all. So normally you'd assume we'd be used to hearing the word kill. But when Nana said she'd kill us, it sounded so frightening. I'd never heard something like that before in my life. To Nana, our lives were like cards she could use for negotiation. Get rid of one card every time somebody refused her request. Get rid of? Damn it. Why did we use such scary words like get rid of for simple things like playing cards? Anyway, there were about 20 students in this class. That was a little bit too many for Nana to handle. We might get rid of one or two just to set an example. I decided to do what Nana said because I didn't want her to lose her temper. I got out everybody's jump ropes from their lockers. All of you get on the floor. Keiichi-kun, you can start tying their hands behind their backs. Tie them really tightly. You're on my side, aren't you? You wouldn't tie them loosely on purpose, would you? Leon tried to make eye contact with me. If everybody was tied down, we wouldn't be able to stop her from occupying the school. There were more than 20 students in this class. Half of them were boys, but most of them were smaller than Nana. But there were enough people here to overpower her. But if we did that, Nana would probably hit her hostage with the hatchet. And she'd use the hatchet to attack the rest of us without hesitation. It'd be a bloody battle. I'm sure somebody would get hurt if we tried to overpower her. The hostage would be seriously injured, or maybe even die. If that happened, it was over. No matter how hard we tried to cover up, she'd never be able to live peacefully like before. Leon seemed to understand that too. I could tell from Rena's eyes that she wasn't going to go easy on us. If somebody showed defiance, she'd break the hostage's head open immediately. Of course, Rena had done that before. She'd probably do it again with no hesitation. But as long as we did what she said, we could prevent that bloody tragedy. If we could somehow solve this situation without shedding any blood. With Mion's influence, we might still be able to pretend that this never happened. At the least, we had to make sure she didn't kill anyone. Let's do as Rena says, Kei-chan. Mion tried to think of ways to overpower Rena, but she couldn't come up with any good ideas to save the hostage. That's how easy it would be for Rena to kill them. The best thing to do at that time was to wait for a chance without agitating her further. Mion laid down on the floor, and everyone else followed suit, sluggish with terror. And I was left alone, standing rooted to the spot with jump ropes in my hands. All my classmates were lying face down on the floor, while Lena was pointing the hatchet at the hostage, watching our every move from behind the teacher's desk. I just stood frozen in the middle of it all. Keiichi-kun, there are many things I want you to help me with, so hurry up. If you take too long, some of them might have to die. The little kid started crying when they heard the word die. It's alright, everyone. Keiichi-kun will save you. But nobody is going to die. Damn it. What a bold threat. She said I was her friend, but she was just playing with the meaning of the word. I was the last person who could still fight against Anna under these circumstances. But it wasn't going to be easy to overpower her by myself. I wasn't sure if I could do that. Even if I tried to act tough, once Nana pointed the hatchet at somebody's neck, it was over. I shouldn't fight against her for now. I should just wait for a chance. As long as Nana was alone, there would be a chance. She made me tie them up because she couldn't do that by herself. There was a limit to what she could do, because she was by herself. If we could cover this up somehow before Chie-sensei came back, we'd still be able to pretend like we were kidding around. I finally realized something. I realized why Rena called Chie-sensei to meet with her. In order for Rena to take over the classroom, she needed to get rid of Chie-sensei. Chie-sensei had a very strong sense of justice. Even if Rena had a gun, she wouldn't hesitate to overpower her. She was the kind of teacher who would risk her life for her students. Rena needed to figure out how to get rid of Chie-sensei. That was the key to her plan. Anna probably thought about attacking her from behind at first. Sorry, I just needed a drink there. But there was risk there, as Chie-sensei was a grown-up woman, so she probably thought that attacking her directly wasn't a wise choice. So, naturally, the next option was to lure her out somewhere. Anna called Chie-sensei and told her she wanted to talk in private, in order to lure her out to someplace far from here. Most people, including Chie-sensei, thought Rena was just running away from home. So, Chie-sensei thought Rena had some problems she wanted to talk to her about. It was too easy to deceive her. Where did she make that phone call from? She probably used the phone in the school. Well, not in school, to be exact. She probably used the phone on the second floor of the school, the one belonging to the Forestry Service. The school was using part of the Forestry Service building, but this particular location was more of a branch office, so it's not like somebody was here all the time. Anna knows that, and she'd probably been in hiding there for a while. She called the phone on the first floor from the second floor, and she made Sensei leave the school. I didn't think it was a coincidence that the principal was on a business trip today. She probably snuck into the school yesterday. She saw the principal's schedule, learned how to call the phone on the first floor from the second, and carried out her plan. She planned it perfectly. Yeah, I knew it. Anna was insane, but I knew she was also actually really calm. She was possessed by her delusion, but she was also unbelievably calm about it. So she could still think fast. I knew that very well because I'd been through the same thing before. What was worse is that Mion's bodyguards were gone. Mion told them to follow Chie-sensei because she thought Chie-sensei was going to meet with Rena. Damn it. Everything seemed to be working out in her favor. God, I love this song. Done. I tied up the last person and I looked in Rena's direction. I didn't tie them up really tightly. Rena would kill them. But when I tied them up too tightly, they suffered in pain. The pain cries made me feel useless. Thank you, Keiichi-kun. I don't mean to doubt you, Keiichi-kun, but I'll make sure just in case. Please put your hands on your head and lie face down on the floor. And I'm saying this to everybody. If you stand up without my permission, I'll kill you. I'll kill whoever stood up and one more person randomly to set an example. It's not nice to be chosen randomly, huh? Oh, there's a good idea. I'll kill the person who didn't listen to me, add 10 to his or her student number, and kill that person too. For example, let's say Okamura-kun didn't listen to me. I'd kill him and Watanabe-kun, because his student number is 11. Get it? I'll always be killing 2 of you at the same time. You'd better remember that you involve another person's life besides your own when you attempt to stand against me. How awful. You totally understood how to threaten people. Normally, you stand against an attacker at your own risk. If you fail, you're going to die. But if you were responsible for someone else, then you couldn't try to resist. You can't risk somebody's life with your own decisions. Okay. Everybody is tied up nice and tight. You said you aren't good at tying knots, but you did very well, Keiichi-kun. You should be proud of yourself. Well, you can stand up now. It was too late to fight back. I followed her orders. I just had to wait for a chance. You could still turn this into some kind of bad joke. I had to do something. You know, it's not like all of these other kids that aren't her best friends will be traumatized for years after this or anything. Anyway, what were you planning to do, Rena? Don't tell me this is the come-from-behind victory you were talking about. Okanemiya SP to all vehicles. Okanemiya SP to all vehicles. A hostage situation is broken out at the HINAMIZAWA Forestry Service building. There are reportedly multiple hostages. All vehicles are to head to the Forestry Service building immediately. Kuma-chan, sorry I'm late. What's going on? Hello, sir! Today, around 1 p.m., the Hinamizawa Branch School's classroom was taken over. All 25 students have been taken hostage. The suspect's initial demands were to prohibit all entry to the Branch School's property and to secure a hotline to us. Oh, they're willing to negotiate with us from the start? What's going on? Also, the suspect is asking for you, Oishi-san. It's Yugurena. Yugu-san? Very well. We seem to be inseparable, huh? I'll be dealing with her until the end. Oishi-san gave a crooked smile. We don't know if she has any accomplices. The curtains are closed, so we can't confirm the situation. Have you asked whoever told us about this? No, Yugurena declared it herself. Therefore, we don't know what's going on inside. Their teacher received a call from Yugurena as she left the classroom before the incident took place. Oh, this has been well planned, huh? Has anyone from the forestry service been taken hostage? Nobody from the service was there today. All 25 hostages are students. That number matches with the attendance the teacher took this morning. Plus the suspect, right? Have you seen anyone else suspicious other than Yugurena? No, we've seen someone peeking out from behind the curtain, but it was the suspect herself. We are guessing there must be at least one or two more of them, though. Well, maybe she really is doing it by herself. Yugurena was a true believer in Takanomiyo's scrapbooks. According to those scrapbooks, the entire village was Yugurena's enemy. She didn't have anyone she can trust. However, Oishi had also believed in Takanomiyo's delusion. It was possible that someone who was influenced in the same way was following Yugurena. Oishi-san, the principal and the teacher are here. Hello, Chie-sensei, are you okay? Oishi ran up to Chie-sensei, who was crying with a handkerchief held up to her face. Nana-chan is a good girl. For her to do something like this, there must be some mistake. Oh. If I were to do this by the book, I would ask you about Ryugu-san's recent behavior, but when it comes to Ryugu-san, I probably know better than you do. Please don't worry. I'll take care of this as peacefully as possible. Chie-sensei was huddled over, and Oishi didn't think he could say anything else to her. On the contrary, the principal was staying strong, manly as ever, trying to figure out how to take care of the situation with his manly manliness. So manly, he didn't even get a sprite. It would not be able to contain just how manly he is. Mr. Oishi, please. If possible, I would like to request to be a hostage myself. What? I will take the place of the children. Let me do that instead. It's all my fault. Ah! Please, don't blame yourselves. I have things I want to ask you, so I'd appreciate it if you cooperated. Bonchi-kun, please show them to the blueprints. Excuse me, sir. Section Chief Takasugi is on the radio. Hello, this is Oishi. Oishi-san, how goes things? Kumagai-kun informed me of the situation. The suspect is underage, huh? Please keep strict control of the press. I understand. Also, the suspect is requesting me as a negotiator. Is that okay with you? You've known Yugurena since the parasite incident from the other day. I bet she still thinks you're her ally. Only you can do the job. Only you can prevent forest fires, Oishi. Good luck! I really don't want to, but since I caused so much trouble, I guess I'll have to do this to make up for it. Oishi-san! Yugurena's on the car phone! That was faster than expected. I'll go get it. Thank you. Hello, this is Oishi. Oishi-san, this is Ryugu. Hello, this is Oishi. Is the signal weak on your car phone? It's kind of hard to hear. Just like me, it's getting old. Oishi and I exchanged friendly words. The long cord trailed through the hallway from the teacher's office. That cord extended further to the phone on the podium in the classroom. Let's get down to business. I'll check to see if you're qualified to negotiate for me. Okay, shoot. You are my ally, aren't you, Oishi-san? Of course. Let's expose the conspiracy of the Fonozaki family together, you and me. Oishi answered without hesitation. Was he still my ally? Or was this sly detective just saying what I wanted to hear? Either way, I only had Oishi to depend on. I couldn't trust him. I was stuck. There would be nothing else I could do. You didn't believe me for a while either, did you, Keiichi-kun? But you do now, right? Keiichi-kun was sitting on the floor, facing away from me, with his head resting in his hands. We're comrades now, huh? Yeah, that's right. Yugurena asked Keiichi Maebara if he was her comrade, but I couldn't hear his voice. Was she trying to tell me that Maebara Keiichi was still alive, or that he was being forced to obey her because of the hostages? Maebara-san is your ally too, huh? That's nice. Weren't you suspicious of Maebara-san for a while? Yep. When I heard about the BB gun incident, I couldn't believe it. But we can't let the past fool us. We have to learn from the past in order to grow. That's very good. You're absolutely right about that. That was why we forgave each other, so I don't doubt Keiichi-kun anymore. Keiichi-kun is my comrade. I understand. Therefore, Keiichi-kun is my ally too, isn't he? Please say hello to him for me. Sure, I will. Actually, I'd like to say hello to him myself. Can he come to the phone? The conversation stopped suddenly. That made me nervous. Did I say something wrong? Sure. Here he is. Keiichi-kun, Oishi-san wants to talk to you. I heard some rattling and rustling on the other side of the phone. Hello. This is Maebara. He sounded monotone. Unable to disobey, Maebara Keiichi must have been pretending to follow Yugurena's orders. Hello, Maebara-san. Would you like to come to my car? It's air-conditioned. This is Oishi from the Okinomiya police station. Thank you for coming to the phone. Let's do this together. Yes, let's do this together. What is Yugu-san doing right now? She's walking around the classroom. Maebara-san, please say yes if your answer is yes, and yeah if your answer is no. Do you know what Yugu-san wants? Yeah. That answer told me for sure. Maebara Keiichi wasn't Yugu-san's accomplice. There's no way Rena wouldn't tell her accomplice what she wanted after planning a hostage situation like this. How would he help someone who wouldn't even tell him what she wanted? I'll ask you directly. Are you Ryugurena-'s ally? No, let me change my question. Are you being threatened by Ryugurena? Yes. There you go! The other guys in the car listening in our conversation raised their fists in victory! Is Ryugurena the only suspect? Yes. If she was the only suspect, then we could respond appropriately. I guess nobody else believed in Takano's scrapbooks. If so, my being fooled was even more embarrassing. As I thought about my next question, I heard the phone being taken away from Keiichi. Then I came back on the line. See? Keiichi-kun is my ally, isn't he? Yes, you were right. That's very promising. Okay, now it's your turn to talk, Oishi-san. How are the simultaneous raids on the Sonozaki family going? Remember? You promised me when we talked on the phone before. Have you found the secret research facility yet? Oh. Hugs on collar nervously. I had to decide on what to say. Did I tell her we conducted raids or not? Maybe she already knew we didn't raid. Maybe she was just testing me. We're trying to come up with a plan for the simultaneous raids as we speak. We're talking to the prefectural police as well as the public safety division. We're talking about the entire city, so we need a little more time to prepare for it. You're taking too long! Oishi-san, don't you realize what kind of emergency situation Shichibone City is in right now? What are you doing? Oishi-san, you do believe me, don't you? You're my ally, right? Right? Please answer me. Of course I am! But the police department is a little more complicated than you think. I'm doing my best, I really am. The thing is, this is on a really big scale. Oishi-san, they poisoned me recently. With the parasites that killed Tomitake-san. They poisoned me with them. I've been itching like crazy since yesterday. I'm all bloody from the scratching at my throat. I might claw out my throat and die at any moment, and you're telling me you're still preparing? I knew it. Oishi didn't realize how dire the situation was. He understood that there was some kind of a conspiracy in Hinamizawa. But he didn't realize how soon their plan was going to be executed. Besides, I was already feeling itchy. Oh, so itchy. All over my body, and was bound to die soon the same way as Tomitake-san. I'm sorry, I really am doing my best, but everybody asks me if I have proof. Proof? Do you need proof? Mio-san's scrapbooks. Maybe that was what I'd need to convince the police. I was afraid someone would destroy the evidence if I handed them over to Oishi-san, so I kept them with me. But I didn't have much longer to live. I might not even make it until tomorrow morning. That's right. I might be dead before tomorrow. I would die tonight. Okay, I'll give you Mio-san's scrapbooks. Please use them to convince the other policemen. That should help! Please do give me the scrapbooks. I looked through my backpack, which was lying at my feet. Mio-san's scrapbooks were in there. This is our last resort. Oishi-san, do your best. No, you must take care of it, please. Of course, trust me. I'll expose their conspiracy. I knew the police would take too long to get things moving. They're an organization, after all. That's why I'm doing this, to make them understand. You have an excuse now. Please use this chance wisely. Thank you. You can count on me. How should we do this? Do you want me to come get it? I knew she wouldn't let me into the classroom. She was still cautious. I could guess where Higurashi was going to take this thing, so I tried to stay ahead of her. I handed a memo with my instructions on it to a colleague. I can't really leave the classroom, so I'll have Keiichi-kun deliver them to you. Maybe that's better. If you left the building, something might happen. What do you mean? Well, I'm sure the Sonozaki family already knows what's going on here. I'm sure they didn't expect you to do something like this, so they might come to shut you up. To shut me up? Do you mean by shooting you? A hitman from the Sonozaki family may try to put a stop to this by sniping you. That's why you shouldn't come outside. Don't even go near the windows. I saw you peeking out a window, but you shouldn't do that. They may fire at any time. Well, wait a minute. Aren't there policemen around? Can't you stop that from happening? We would if we could, but it's so open around here. A well-trained sniper can easily shoot as far as 400 meters. As you know, attack units from the Sonozaki family have gone through military training in America, and they specialize in assassination techniques. Don't underestimate them. I need you to help me expose the conspiracy of the Sonozaki family. I understand. Thank you for your warning. Even if my life is to end tomorrow, I can't die now. That's right. Under no circumstances should you peek out the windows, okay? Be very careful. The phone conversation ended. Higurashi was going to let Maebara Keiichi deliver the scrapbooks. Did you get what I wrote in the memo already? Yes, we've got it. You think it'll work? I scared her, so I don't think she'll peek out the windows. I'm sure she'll still have her eyes open, though. I'll work around it. I roughly understood what was going on from the phone conversation. Okay, Keiichi-kun. Here are the scrapbooks. Their contents are very important. They're proof of the Sonozaki family's conspiracy, and the police can use them as evidence to conduct a raid. Please take this to Oishi-san, okay? And when you give them to him, come right back. I'm watching you. If you do something you aren't supposed to, I'll be angry. Anna took out a couple of old scrapbooks from her backpack and gave them to me. Then she cast a sidelong glance at Mion. I'll tell you about these later, Mi-chan. I'll tell you all about what a scary conspiracy your family is planning. Or maybe you already know, huh? Anyway, go on, Keiichi-kun. Just go halfway out into the schoolyard. Don't say anything. You're just delivering the scrapbooks. Don't talk, okay? If you do, if it was Chie-sensei, she'd slap you with the ruler, but what should I use instead? Alright, I won't say a word. Come on, put that hatchet down. I'm your ally, right? Trust me, okay? Yeah, you're right. I trust you. But please don't betray me, okay? And his eyes were telling me clearly. They were telling me she didn't trust me. But even in this state, she also knew she shouldn't distrust her friends. Therefore, although she couldn't trust me, she was pretending to. That was why she didn't tie me up. Okay, I'll be going. I'll be right back. Okay. I walked past my friends who were lying down on the floor and headed to the exit. I saw some of their faces as I passed. Some were fearful. Some were sure that I'd use the opportunity to run. And some were scared that they'd die if I did. Don't worry, guys. I won't let her even touch any of you. If Anna tries to do something, I'll stop her even if I have to risk my own life. Anyway, I'd do whatever it took to ensure that nobody died. I had to make sure Anna didn't get angry. Just wait for that right moment. I went down to the school entrance and changed my shoes, and unlocked the door and stepped outside. I felt the fresh air on my skin. I saw the lights from the police cars. I could feel all the policemen looking at me. As soon as I was in the schoolyard, a little voice tried to tempt me. I was free from Rena now. If I ran off the school grounds, I'd be free. What's I thinking? If I did something like that, Anna would go crazy, and who knows what else she'd do. The important thing here wasn't my safety, it was to make sure that Anna didn't kill anyone. I saw a big man coming towards me from the school gate. That was probably Oishi-san. That handsome devil, Mr. Delicious. Are you my Barkechi-san? Hello, it's Des from Okinomiya Station. You could call me Kura-chan. Sorry, it told me not to talk and to just give these to you, so please just take them in silence. I understand. These are the scrapbooks, huh? I'll take them. I tried to hand the scrapbooks to Oishi-san, but he stepped aside a little. Eh? Confused as to what he was doing, I changed my position and handed them to him again. He took them that time, and at that point, Oishi put something that was under his jacket into my pocket. Don't worry, even if Yugu-san was watching, the building is behind you. She couldn't have seen that. What is this? I couldn't look into my pocket because I didn't want Rena to suspect anything, but whatever it was pretty heavy for its size. I have a memo for you too. On your way back to the classroom, please read it without Yugu-san noticing. Go on now, she'll get suspicious. I just followed his directions. I was worried Rena had begun to suspect something. When I looked at the classroom, the curtains were closed, but that didn't mean she wasn't peeking out through a crack. I went back to the entrance and locked the door. If Rena checked and found the door unlocked, it could cause more trouble. And it was in the classroom. There was no way she'd come down this way. She was alone. If she left the classroom, everyone would get up and run. They couldn't run because Rena was there, but they were all waiting for their chance. The entrance, then, was Rena's blind spot. As I changed my shoes, quickly removed what Oishi-san had put into my pocket. There was a radio with an earpiece, and something else that looked like a short police baton. There was also a folded piece of paper. I opened the piece of paper and saw a note written in small print. Dear Mayabara-kun, please hide the bug in your pocket. It picks up even a low voice, so you can use it to get in touch with me. By using the earphone, you can hear me in return. There is also a spray for self-protection. It sprays as far as 1 meter. Make sure you aim for the face. This must be the spray. I guess it's safe to try it here. I held down the button and gas sprayed out from the nozzle. Compared to Rena's hatchet, this required some caution, but it was small enough to fit inside of my hand. It was reassuring that I could hide it so easily. In other words, it was now possible for me to stop Rena. As I realized all my classmates' faces rest on my shoulders, I felt sweat form on my face. The memo continued. The spray is just for self-defensive purposes. Pepper spray only impairs eyesight, and while it makes your enemy powerless due to extreme pain and coughing for at least 30 minutes, it's not powerful enough to render them unconscious. Therefore, please don't forget there is a possibility that your enemy may fight back desperately in panic. This spray is your last resort. Please don't depend on it, but if you need to, make sure to use it. Oishi. Was he telling me to use it or not? It was probably one of those grown-up issues. The cops entrusted me solely with the fate of the hostages and I failed, they'd be held liable. So, while he gave me a weapon, he made me consider its use. I hid the bug and the spray in my pockets and went back to the classroom. I felt a little dizzy, maybe because I was nervous. I was simply following Rena's orders because I had no other choice. That was why I wasn't scared. But things were different from before. I had a weapon. I was in a far better position, but my heart was pounding. Humans are so strange. Yet, what am I gonna do? What should I do? Mayabara-kechi? Did I want to fight with Rena? The memo said the spray only reaches as far as 1 meter. 1 meter? That was basically a hand-to-hand battle. That meant I only had one opportunity. I didn't have a second chance. The memo also said I'd need to aim for her face. That wasn't gonna be easy. Shit! Besides, Rena was cautious. How could I stand directly in front of her within 1 meter? But that's what I'd have to do if I was to have any chance of winning. And I would do anything to reach her goal. She wouldn't even hesitate to kill. Just like how I didn't. Of course, things were already extremely serious. An apology definitely wouldn't be enough, but at least there hadn't been any casualties. The more time passed, the more irritated Rena would get. She might demand something again, and she might kill someone that time to show how serious she was. Bad things had already taken place, but a tragedy hadn't occurred yet. But it was almost here. It wasn't very far at all. When I closed my eyes, I could easily picture Nana killing one classmate after another. After I killed Nina and Mion, my room was covered in blood. If she killed 20 people, the classroom would be a pool of it. If that happened, Nina would. She still wouldn't realize she was being delusional. She would rip out her own throat and die. That would be too big a cross for her to carry. And one day she would remember and be saddened. She didn't need to go through that. I didn't want Rena to go through what I had to go through. Shit, I feel dizzy. It's a very long hallway. I didn't know the classroom was so far. With each step I took, my determination to fight Rena became stronger. Rena would be shocked to realize I betrayed her. But if she couldn't wake up from the nightmare on her own, someone else would have to wake her up. And her friends needed to be the ones to do that. Welcome back, Eiichi-kun. Oishi-san say anything? What is this smell? As soon as I stepped into the classroom, I smelled something. Everyone had moved to one corner of the classroom. The smell reminded me of a gas station. Was it gasoline? I saw a red gasoline container by Rena's feet. The cap was open. It was seemingly sturdy and made of metal. It said gasoline on the side, written in felt marker. Da da da! He must have spread it across the entire classroom. The smell was almost giving me a headache. No, it wasn't just in the classroom. The classmates were soaked in oh fuck. Soaked in gasoline too. How could she? I see. This was just like a hijacker holding a bomb. If the police were to rush in, she would burn the hostages. I didn't know where she got it, but she had a lighter in her left hand. Reina, what do you think you're doing? Of course I won't actually do it. This is just insurance. I don't want to barbecue everyone either. So I hope this will all just end as a joke. Yeah, no, that's not happening. Reina showed off the lighter. Obviously, she was trying to threaten me. I've heard about people committing unliving by setting themselves on fire. They pour gas on themselves and light it ablaze. You might think that if it was extinguished right away, it wouldn't be that bad. But human skin is very delicate, and they say even if 30% of a person's skin gets burned, if it's enough to be fatal. If it was your entire body, it would result in death for sure. I had been put in a disadvantageous position. My weapon might take Rena's sight, but I couldn't stop her from using the lighter. She'd probably use it the moment she's attacked. I didn't know if she realized it, but the kind of lighter she had would keep burning until the lid was closed. Therefore, all she'd have to do was light it and drop it onto the floor. In other words, my spray can wouldn't make Rena powerless at all. The last resort Oishi-san gave me had already lost all its power. What do you mean insurance? With those scrapbooks, Oishi-san will convince the rest of the police. After that, their investigation will expose the conspiracy, right? You really think those scrapbooks are enough? I know government people don't really move nearly quickly enough. And I was thinking that if she didn't see any progress with the scrapbook, she'd pressure the police by letting them know about the gasoline. Let's just trust Oishi-san for now. We should just wait to hear from him, okay? Yeah, that's right. Okay, let me pick up where I left off. Anyway, those parasites became harmless with the passage of time, but some people didn't like that. Those people are the three families of Hinamizawa. Therefore, they are... Rena was simply telling everyone what she heard from Takano-san. I started mumbling so I could let Oishi-san know what was going on. What a smell. Carrying a whole portable tank of gasoline. I was pretending to mumble to myself so I could only say it very quietly. I wished I could say it louder, but that was probably impossible. I wasn't sure if Oishi-san could hear me. Thought of an idea to find out whether or not they could hear me. It'd be nice if I heard a car honk. Kuma-chan, honk the horn! I mean, I honked once quickly. Gasoline, huh? Shit. That explains the smell. I'm sure she's intending to use it to get what she wants. Kuma-chan, people usually mean an 18-liter tank when they say portable tank of gasoline, right? Well, probably, but I'm not sure. Omiyama-kun, is there still someone from the Forestry Service here? Could you get him? I see, those cans have gasoline written on them. The plastic kerosene tanks have kerosene written on them? Yes. We don't want to mix them up. All the fuel containers have labels. Not too many people know this, but regular portable tanks can't hold gasoline. Gasoline, while common, is extremely flammable, and it can be lit even with static electricity. Therefore, gasoline must be kept in special metal containers. Those are called carrying cans. What Mayabara-san called gasoline really is gasoline. Are there different size carrying cans? 18 liter and 5 liter, I think. 5 liter ones are rather flat in shape, aren't they? Yes, it's red and flat with a handle. Mayabara Keiichi called it a portable tank. You think it's the 18 liter type? Maybe he called it a portable tank because he wasn't familiar with the shape? Either way, if it's really gasoline, it's really dangerous. Gasoline burns when lit. But what's an even bigger threat than liquid gasoline are the fumes. When gasoline fumes are lit on fire, they explode. Also, gasoline evaporates easily. Even at freezing temperatures, it evaporates. And so, in other words, inside the closed classroom, the fumes would fill the entire space. The classroom would then become a bomb itself. Uma-chan, do you know anything about Class 4 hazardous materials? No? I know gasoline fumes are dangerous, but I don't know any more than that. To prepare for the worst case scenario, I want to find out the difference in scale between the 18 liter and the 5 liter. I'll ask the old guy. Excuse me, could you call the station and see if the old guy from the forensics department is still there? Oh, I've heard what's going on. The criminal requested you, huh? Kaboom! Richie Patsunon! Put a Dora on top of that, too. This isn't a laughing matter anymore. Anyway, do you know about 4th class hazardous materials? 4th class, huh? We had everyone here. We know everything about hazardous materials. Did the suspects burn gasoline or something? Yeah, that's exactly what's happening here. We bugged one of the hostages. Supposedly, the suspects burned gasoline throughout the classroom. We don't know if it's from an 18-liter can or a 5-liter can. Could you tell me the worst-case scenarios for both of them? How big is the classroom? Let's see, approximately 50 square meters. And the room is closed, huh? More than likely. I'm sure the smell must be horrible. That's not good, Oishi. I had a feeling. The classroom will blow up. Everyone in the classroom will be dead for sure. You mean in the case of the 18-liter? Well, I'm talking about the 5-liter one. If I remember correctly, 4 liters is plenty enough to blow up an 8x8 meter room. The policeman listening to their conversation on the side went pale. 8x8 meters went to a room that was 64 square meters. Only 4 liters are needed to blow that up, and at least 5 liters were scattered in a 50 square meter room. In other words, the room has more than enough gasoline. That's not good. I'd rather not hear this, but what would happen if it was an 18-liter can? Let's see, to put it in your words. Oishi, the dealer's hand is Richi, Ipatsu, Pinfu, Tanyao, Aka, and Dora. What do you mean? Baiman from the dealer, 24,000 points. The base distribution is 25,000 points, so there will be one 1,000 point stick left. Something like that. There may be 1 pillar left if you're lucky. Oh my gosh, I don't want that kind of Richi. You should call the fire department and get a chemical unit ready. You'll need to have them deal with it after the incident is taken care of. Shit, I heard about this through the bug, so if a fire engine shows up, the suspect will find out. I guess I'll have to get them ready when she can't see them, where she can't see them. Yeah, that's a good idea. You mentioned a bug, didn't you? Yes. I had a chance to come into contact with one of the hostages. I gave him a bug. That's how I found out about the gasoline. That's not good. There have been incidents where spark from electronic devices set gasoline on fire. You know, gasoline's flashpoint is about 300 degrees. Even static electricity can easily cause an explosion. You've got to be kidding me! Why is such a dangerous liquid available to just about anybody? How the heck should I know? Tell that to the fire laws and automobile companies. Fucking capitalism, man. Since it's June, the air isn't that dry, but just to be on the safe side, tell him to turn the listening device off. Oishi-san, according to what I can hear through the bug, the suspect has a lighter. That means even if Mayabara-san used the pepper spray to stop her, he won't be able to prevent her from igniting the gasoline. We can't even use the bug anymore? Damn it! Oishi, the lighter is really, really bad. Don't even let her play with it. The suspect may not know how dangerous gasoline is. From hearing how much she spread, I don't think she knows anything about it. Oishi's back was covered with a cold sweat. He never even thought this would turn into such a serious matter. He didn't know how dangerous gasoline was. He didn't know because he'd never heard of cars exploding in car accidents. He knew it was dangerous, but he didn't know what it was capable of. Gasoline is more dangerous once it evaporates. Therefore, a burning car in an accident and gasoline fumes being ignited are at completely different levels. It's quite simple to understand if you think about how car engines work. Cars vaporize gasoline in the carburetor and let it explode into the engine cylinders. In other words, that little explosion in the engine is what gives cars the power to move. Therefore, if you want more power, an engine needs to be bigger to create a bigger explosion. So if an engine cylinder was the size of a classroom, how much power would it create? Anyone with knowledge of engines would know, but a lot of people don't consider how dangerous evaporated gasoline is, because it's too familiar. 25 hostages and 1 hostage taker. All 26 people were basically stuck in a huge bomb. Furthermore, the suspect might accidentally set it off. If she were to pretend to light the lighter as a threat, that would be the end. All the people around Oishi had gone pale. The classroom might explode at any moment. How could they save all the hostages, especially when the criminal was living in her own delusion? Her requests were something so unreal. Excuse me, I found a letter in the scrapbook. One of the policemen brought over a folded piece of paper. Oishi opened it while the others watched. He saw girlish handwriting on the paper. You could tell this was written before she invaded the school. Dear Oishi-sama, if you are reading this letter, that means I'm at the final stage. I must have seized the school and held the students as hostages. I am planning to appoint you as a negotiator, so please pretend to be threatened by me and become my contact with the outside. The first thing I want to tell you is that my enemy is the Sonozaki family, and also the aliens who are pretending to be parasites that control the Sonozaki family. Aliens? I didn't think you'd believe me if I brought up the aliens, so I didn't tell you about them until now. But when you read these scrapbooks, you will understand. The aliens came to Earth in UFOs in ancient times. They landed in ONIGAFUCHI swamp. They used this village as their breeding grounds, and through that selective breeding, they widened their domain. They were successful, and now they're trying to invade the Earth. What the heck is this? All the other policemen frowned at the letter. No, it's not surprising. I read Takano's other scrapbooks, and they were full of even stranger stories. Personally, I like the one about Asi the best. Sonozaki's family, as well as the village authorities, have been brainwashed by the aliens. The villagers' attempt to revive the cult of Oyashiro-sama were actually part of the alien strategy to invade the Earth. The aliens are very clever. They don't let people realize they're being controlled. The Irie Clinic must be their secret research center. Please conduct an investigation and expose their secret. Also, please check out the bottom of the swamp. The UFO must still be there. Also, capture all of the relatives of the three families and take x-rays of their brains. You'll find hideous parasites inside of them. But please be careful. The aliens eliminate whoever find out about them by replacing their hosts with a look-alike. That's how they have been controlling the village. Therefore, there may already be some aliens among the villagers. It is possible that they will try to interfere with your investigation. As a matter of fact, there have been lookalikes of Takano Mio, Fururerika, and me, Yugurena. If you see any of those 3, capture them immediately. That will be the proof the aliens existing among us. Takano Mio, why does she think that? I know. I told her over the phone that according to the result of the autopsy conducted by the lab over in Gifu Prefecture, the day of her death doesn't match up. Are you talking about the mistake on her autopsy results? I told her I didn't know why Takano Mio was witnessed on the day of the festival when she died the night before. I never thought she'd take it like this. Maybe I joked around a little too much. It's interesting that she included herself. Did she look in a mirror or something? One of the policemen spoke up. He was one of the pair who searched the garbage dump that night. I can understand that. Remember, the night we looked for Yugurena, somebody said she was seen in Gogura. That must be it. It was probably a bluff from the villagers, and she must have heard it somewhere and assumed there was another version of her walking around. Damn! Nostradamus, was it? It's just like that. No matter what happens to her, everything sounds like it was predetermined. Yugurema would blame aliens if she was to trip and fall down now. Or maybe she's coming up with all this crazy stuff so that once she's caught, she can use insanity defense in court. No, this isn't about that. She really does believe in this crazy stuff. She does from the bottom of her heart. I know that for sure. She truly believes in these stupid scrapbooks. There's another letter. Let's see. P.S. I was poisoned yesterday with the same stuff that killed Tomitake-san. I've been scratching my throat since then. I will probably have clawed my throat open by tomorrow. If you can find the antidote when you investigate the Iria clinic, please bring it to me. This sure is something. Yeah, if she believes in alien stories, maybe we can trick her with an antidote. But you may not find the antidote, or maybe it'll be too late by the time you do. Therefore, considering the time I have left, I will set 7 p.m. tonight as the deadline. If an investigation doesn't take place and the antidote doesn't arrive by 7 p.m., I will choose to die with all the hostages by lighting the gasoline instead. Oh! Oh, no, that is not good. That is bad. That is very bad. 7 p.m.? What time is it now? A little before 6. Days are long nowadays. It doesn't get dark even in the evenings. It'll probably start to get dark around 7 p.m. Only have an hour. No, it might even explode before that. Shit! What can we do? What the heck is she talking about? An alien invasion? She's trying to take the hostages with her? That's just crazy. Yeah, that's absolutely crazy. We can't negotiate with her normally now, especially when she thinks she's absolutely sane. Oishi-san, look what comes next. Huh? There's more. What? I'm planning to spread gasoline throughout the classroom. I'm sure you realize how dangerous that is. If anyone suggests storming the room, please tell them exactly how bad an idea that would be. Also, the hostages are anchored down with U-shaped bike locks. Even if these alien policemen rushed in and killed me, they'd have to cut each lock. But if you tried cutting them, you might create sparks. Therefore, you need to completely ventilate the room first. In other words, it will take an extremely long time to rescue all the hostages from the classroom. Actually, I have a different explosive system set up other than the gasoline I spread. It's a very simple time bomb using gasoline and a kitchen timer. The kitchen timer provides electricity at a set time. I ripped the tiff off its plug, so it will create enough sparks to ignite the gasoline. I've already set the timer to 7 p.m. Even if I'm not around, there will be an explosion at that time. There will be an explosion at that time. If the classroom isn't ventilated by then, it'll explode too. I'm sorry to ask you like this, Oishi-san, but please help me so we can avoid a tragedy. Please let the 3 families know that Mion Sonozaki, the successor to the head of the Sonozaki family in Furure Rika, a mascot for the cult of Oyashiro-sama, are in this classroom. If anyone from the 3 families helps you, I'm sure their conspiracy will be exposed by tonight. The alien invasion is going to happen very soon. Please get going quickly. To my ally, Oishi-san, Yugurena. Smash! Oishi threw the scrapbooks to the ground! Damn it! How could she call me her ally? A kitchen timer? Like an alarm clock? Old appliances didn't have timers. A kitchen timer is a device that turns on appliances at a given time. When you plug it in, it provides electricity at a set time, so the appliance will come on when you want it to. Wow, that's convenient. It's possible to use that to make a time bomb using a kitchen timer. That sure is something a girl would come up with. Why don't we call the electric company and turn the electricity off? If there's no timer, no power, rather, yeah, if there's no timer, sure. If there's no power, the timer can't go off. But that won't work. If the classroom became dark, she'd probably light her lighter. Maybe we can give her a sleeping pill as an antidote. But it would have to take effect slowly. I'm sure she'll have a hostage try it first. Be very careful. Understood. I'll get one ready. I need to talk to Mayabara-san one more time. I have to tell him not to let Yugurena play with the lighter. I also have to tell him to turn the bug off. How about that, by the way? Have you heard anything interesting? The suspect seems to be abusing a hostage. Shit! I think it's Sonozaki Mion. Oh no! Stop it, Rena! Rena kept hitting Mion, who had her hands tied behind her back. And it wasn't using her fists, but instead the handle of her hatchet. Keiichi-kun, you promised me you wouldn't move. If you do, I'll be angry. His gaze intimidated me. Her eyes were full of madness. I could feel Rena's emotions boiling over on the inside. If I opposed her, she would easily cut Mion's arm off. What I can't forgive is that you dug up the corpses and turned them into the police. Okay, well, there goes being forgiven. Or this sliding. I trusted you. I trusted you. And it hit Mion's face over and over. It wasn't just Mion's hands that were tied behind her. Her neck was also tied to a window frame with a bike lock. There was no way that Mion could protect her face. I didn't know if her forehead was cut or if her nose was bleeding, but her face was covered in blood. Her blood got on the handle of the hatchet, and every time she got hit with it, more blood was smeared on her face. The handle of the hatchet could easily smash her forehead. Because of her position in the Sonozaki family, Mion couldn't say that she hid the bodies, so all she could do was endure. However, Rena continued to attack her, and no longer had any restraint. She might even continue until Mion's front teeth were broken. Stop it, Rena! Haven't you done enough? I'll tell you the truth, so Rena, please stop hitting her! The truth? What is it, Keiichi-kun? No, you can't, Kei-chan. Everyone, please don't listen to what I'm about to say. I may say some disturbing stuff, but it isn't anything wrong, so please don't listen. Even if you hear it, forget that you did, please. What are you going to tell me? Go on, Keiichi-kun. Not a complicated story. That was for your sake. You found out afterwards that the place you buried the body is going to be clear-cut. Didn't you already tell her this summer? So we thought we had to do something about it, and Mion hid them in a safer place. You told me that same story the other night. Didn't I tell you that was something Mi-chan made up? Why would she lie? She wanted to help her friend. Mion did it to help you. That's a lie. I won't believe it. Why did you do that without talking to me then? Why did Mion even have to tell her? Mion was trying to be delicate. Mion did her best trying to hide what Rena did. Mion knew Rena was at her wit's end, and that was why she did it in secret. But Rena didn't want to believe her. That's not so, Keiichi-kun. How contemptible of you, Mi-chan, to even deceive him! I won't say anything about your tricks during club activities, but this, I can't forgive you. I can't forgive you, I can't forgive you, I can't forgive you. Stop it! Don't hit Mion! Mion didn't do anything! Oops, wrong face. I never knew having your hands tied behind your back was that scary. Mion got hit repeatedly with the handle of that hatchet. She could only endure. She couldn't even protect herself with her hands. Hey, is it true, Mi-chan? If so, why didn't you tell me? Can't you understand Mion's position? She has to follow certain rules as a member of the Sonozaki family. Shouldn't you be grateful for what she's done to you? For you? I may have said it too aggressively. And it turned around and glared at me. That's right, Keiichi-kun. Mi-chan sold me out to the police because of the circumstances surrounding the Sonozaki family. She sold out her friend. I was her friend. I really liked her. That was mean, Mi-chan. I really did like you so much. Why? How could you? Whoops. This was senseless. Rena cried as if being bullied, but she was the one doing the bullying. Normally, this would be so odd as to be impossible. But I had seen this scene before. I liked you. I trusted you. As I cried, I beat her to death. Rena repeatedly begged me to trust her, yet I beat her. I know what it's like to be the one doing the beating. Stop. 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 Stop, Rena! Don't you realize what you're doing? You're hurting your friend with your own hands. I understand what you're feeling. I know you're sad because your friend betrayed you, right? But that's a misunderstanding. We didn't betray you. We've been thinking about you all this time. But she just couldn't see that. Even if she died, Rena wouldn't realize she'd made a terrible mistake. But someday you'll realize. Even an insensitive guy like me realized, so Rena would realize it for sure. And that is when you'll feel even sadder, Rena. You will remember this bloody Mion one day. That you'll realize that you were the one who made her bloody, and you will regret that you did. I was the only one who could understand that, as I remembered. There's no way for Rena to understand or realize that. I wondered if I was suffering the most of all. Nah, not in this moment. There was no way to avoid a tragedy. This was exactly the same tragedy with different actors. The main character was Rena instead of me, but it was the same thing! Where was I? I was in the audience now. I knew how the story ended, but I couldn't come on the stage. Stop, Rena. Stop. Stop. Are you crying? What's wrong, Keiichi-kun? I stood up slowly and walked towards Rena, just like what Rena did for me, with my arms open. Please, stop. Stop this, Rena. You may not know why now. You may not know why you have to stop now, but if you don't, you will regret it someday. So please stop. Keiichi-kun, I'll be mad if you don't move back to the wall. Rena's eyes went cold and she lifted the hatchet in her right hand. Don't, Keiichi-kun, I'm okay. Mion told me, but with such a bloody face, how could she be? Are you going to hit me with that hatchet? If you come any closer, I will. Without hesitation. I don't need you anymore, Keiichi-kun. But I wanted to be with you until the end, so please don't make me mad, okay? Okay? She sounded gentle, but her expression was telling me there really would be no hesitation. Rena would crack my head open with the hatchet immediately. But who cares? If you were in my shoes, what do you think you would do? Of course I don't want to die. So I wouldn't oppose my opponent. If they had a weapon, I would be scared. That's a lie! I know. I know you're strong enough to give up your own life for the sake of your friend. It's my turn now. My turn to be strong. I'm just like you. I won't hesitate to give up my own life for my friends. If you want, I'll give that life to you. So stop this. If you trust your friend, stop hurting her. The same pain will attack you later, so stop. Nobody is trying to scare you. We are all thinking about you. Don't doubt that. Please believe it. Trust me. If you could come to trust me by smashing my head in, go ahead and crush my head with that hatchet. I won't try to protect myself. Don't come any closer. If you do, I'll light this place up. And it lifted the lighter overhead. You fool! How long are you going to dream about such crazy things? You already know that yourself, don't you? That it's all just a bad dream. You want somebody to wake you up. I'm here. I'm here to wake you up from your nightmares. You're the one who has to wake up, Keiichi-kun. Can't you believe that those aliens are trying to invade the village? You believed me back then. Are you doubting me again? Can't you trust me? And I opened the lid of the lighter. I could tell her thumb was about to light it. And I was prepared to die along with everyone else. And it would die without knowing the truth. She would die believing it was the world that was crazy. She would die cursing everything in this world. That was the storyline of this tragedy, wasn't it? This was a theater from hell. What an interesting script. Who wrote it? A devil? Shit! I won't let this happen. Don't underestimate Mayabara Keiichi, the original main character. Oops. Don't think the same storyline will work again. I'll be taking over the script this time and I'm gonna destroy it. I won't let this bad ending take place. I am going to destroy their expectations. You're the one who doesn't trust me, Rena. Just trust me. Shut up and trust me. This is all for your own sake. As the main character of the previous tragedy, I am telling you this. You just shut up and listen to me. What are you talking about, Keiichi-kun? Shut up and trust you? You're the one who doesn't trust me, Keiichi-kun. Why don't you believe me? Shut up! I know you're wrong. I know how you'll end up, so I know you're going to regret it in the future. I don't want you to finish your life without realizing what you have done. You just don't know how sad that is yet. I have no idea what you're talking about. Are you okay, Keiichi-kun? Yeah, I bet. I bet you have no idea what I'm talking about. I'll tell you. I'll tell you the story of a pathetic guy. Once upon a time, there was a pathetic guy named Mayabara Keiichi. He had no complaints about his life and he spent every day having fun with his friends. But one day, he started to doubt them. After a while, he started to doubt everything. He didn't notice how worried his friends were and he hurt them repeatedly. How sorrowful. They trusted each other, but they couldn't let each other know. Could you believe something as stupid as that actually happened? Then I beat you and Mion with a metal bat to the point of death, but you begged me to trust you until your final moments. You didn't even try to protect your head. You trusted me until your final moments, reaching your hands out to me. I didn't realize what you were doing and beat you to death anyway. Do you know how sinful that was? I bet you have no idea. That's why I have to make up for what I've done. I am going to stop you, Rena. If you come any closer, I'll light the lighter. Just as you tried to save me with your life, I'm going to save you, Rena. I still remember how magnificent you were when you died. You weren't even afraid of it. These words will reach him, she thought. These next words will make Keiichi-kun realize. Trust me, Rena! That was when Rena hit my head with the hatchet. I crumbled down to the floor. She hit me with the handle, but my head was probably cut open. I felt the blood on my face. Poor Keiichi-kun, that's not of your own will. The parasites that are living in your brain are controlling you. Oishi-san will find the medicine for it. When he comes, I'll let you take the medicine first. Then you'll be free. You'll return to the Keiichi-kun that I love. Just hang in there for a little while longer, okay? Damn you! I heard a phone ringing in the teacher's office, and I listened to the phone ring for a while, then realized it was for her. Anna tried to answer the phone in the classroom, but she couldn't figure out how to transfer the call, so she decided to answer it in the teacher's office instead. I'm going to the office for a bit. Don't run away, okay? If any of you are missing, something terrible will happen to Mi-chan, okay? And I glared at everyone in the classroom, intimidating them, and then left. That was when I heard a honk from the outside. I remembered the signal from earlier. Did Oishi-san want to get in touch with me? I bent down and put the receiver earphone in my ear. Can you hear me? This is Kumagai from Okinomiya Station. Please cough if you can hear me. Cough! Cough! Very good. Please listen carefully. The gasoline the suspect spread everywhere is very dangerous. The classroom is filled with vaporized gasoline right now. It's like a bomb. Please don't aggravate Yugu-san and don't ever let her play with the lighter. Please don't provoke her anymore like you just did, okay? This bug is awful. Possible for gasoline fumes to ignite at the slightest spark. Therefore, please turn the bug off after this communication. That's just to be on the safe side. Also, one last thing. According to the suspect's note, she has set a time bomb. A time bomb? She used a kitchen timer to set a simple time bomb. To make a time bomb. And the classroom will explode if it goes off. We're trying to set some sleeping pills ready to give her as an antidote. But we don't have much time left. According to her note, the timer is set for 7 p.m. I looked at the wall clock. It was 6:45 p.m. There was only 15 minutes left. I could hear Rena screaming into the phone. No, the time has already been set! Hurry up, Oishi-san! I won't wait for even a second longer. As you could hear, Ryugu Rena is refusing to reset the timer. She's going to kill herself in 15 minutes. I remembered thinking the same as Rena. After I killed Rena and Mion, I knew the police would come. I thought someone would solve the mystery after I was dead. If that's what Rena was thinking, that she had been planning to kill herself from the beginning. What do you want me to do? The sleeping pills should arrive soon, but if an explosion took place before we could negotiate, there would be no point. We want you to find the time bomb and disassemble it. You mean cutting red and blue cords like in the movies? It's probably simpler than that. According to the suspect, she used a kitchen timer. Not a battery-operated one, it's one of those ones you plug in. It looks like an alarm clock. You see anything in an outlet in the classroom? There was one outlet in the back and another at the front of the classroom. I checked, but I didn't see anything that was plugged in. No, I don't see anything. If an ignition was taking place somewhere else, it shouldn't work. It must be somewhere in the classroom. No, I don't think so. The only cord coming from the hallway is the one for Rena's phone. Is it possible for the kitchen timer to be battery-operated? The type that's powered by electricity. Could it possibly be in another room? If there was a different room where she spread gasoline, then a timer could be there. Are you telling me to check the whole school? In 15 minutes? Damn, I'm injured here, you know? But if I stayed here, I'd die in 15 minutes. This wasn't a time to be pessimistic. This was probably my last chance to stop this tragedy from taking place. She spread the gasoline while I went out to deliver the scrapbook, so she must have done it in a fairly short time. I really didn't think she had enough time to spread it anywhere else other than the classroom. But where was the time bomb? We're doing everything we can here, so please help us. That's all. If you don't have any questions, I'll end the communication. Is there anything else? No, not really. Wait, yeah, I do have one thing to say. What is it? Please tell Oishi that he should never have told Nana about my past. If I come out of this alive, I'll punch him. So he better be prepared. Wait, 2 punches. One for telling Nana about me and another for telling me about Nana. I understand. Oishi-san is disappointed in himself for letting Yugo Nana fool him. I'm sure he'll be happy to let you throw a punch or 2. Is that it now? Yeah. I've already wasted a few minutes here. See ya. Be safe. Click. Nana was still on the phone. Oishi-san was definitely trying to stall her. From what I could hear, it sounded like he is telling her that they investigated the main Sonozaki residence and found something awful in their secret residence basement or something like that. If you went too far, Nana would believe everything again. Mion was going to get hit again for lying. Keiichi. Ika-chan and Satoko crawled up to me. Did you hear? Raps are my specialty. I can't let Nana-san do this to me. Satoko realized how serious the situation was as well. The lives of the hostages, including her own, were about to be taken. Yet she tried to remain strong. Satoko, even if you die, please don't hate Rena. Rena is sick. She was just unfortunate enough to get this tragic disease. Remember? We had so much fun together. Satoko, I still believe both you and Nana are my wonderful friends. Rika, don't talk. You're not allowed to talk about these things. You're a hypocrite and a liar. A lying liar. How can you still say that she is your friend after what she has done to Mion-san? But can't you understand, Satoko? Once a demon starts to act up inside, no matter how tragic the outcome, you just can't stop it. Oof, that was dirty. I get it, but dirty. Satoko quietly hung her head. I didn't understand what Nika-chan was trying to say to Satoko, but maybe... I believe in Nana-san. There you go, Satoko. I hugged Satoko's head. Nika-chan's arms were tied, so she couldn't embrace Satoko, but she put her forehead closer to her in praise. Okay then, I'm asking the world's best trap expert. If you were to blow up this room, where would you set a time bomb? Fucking hell, man! Count on me. The device has to be connected to an outlet, Yeah, that's right. But it could be somewhere else other than this room. It's possible that she spread gasoline all over a different room and set the device there. No, I don't think she had enough time to do that. She had gasoline hidden close by and only spread it here. That was about all the time she had. I remember now. Nana told me last night that she had to prepare something for today. That means she had things ready since then, at least. Those are all the hints I get, eh? What a cruel mind-sweeping game. You can find it, Satoko. If you can't, there's no way I can. I'm wagering all my trust in you. You can do it, Satoko. In order to save Rena, please find it. In that case, very well. I shall prove that Rena-san's trap is child's play compared to one of my own. I'm going to ask you one more time. If you were to blow up this room, where would you set a bomb? Satoko grinned and then closed her eyes to concentrate. Who are you people? Move over. Who's in charge here? Several cars had arrived, producing several men. They weren't from the Okinomiya station. One of the men was wearing a suit despite the hot weather. He approached me, pushing Kumagai aside. Hey, look who's here. Good to see you again. Otaka-kun from the prefectural headquarters. Watch your mouth. I'm ranked much higher than you now, so don't address me so casually. Can I help you with something, Otaka-kun? I'm rather busy at the moment. You can't possibly be thinking about taking over this case. Who proved that exactly? I did, Oishi-kun. Chief? Takasugi-kun here has informed me of the situation. He also told me that you started all this. You can go now. The troops will take over. Troops? Otaka-kun, you aren't going to storm the building, are you? I understand the risk, but we don't have any time left before the bomb goes off. You've taken too long. We're here to take care of the mess you left behind. Just step back for a minute. I couldn't talk back if both the chief and a guy from the prefectural headquarters gave me an order. Oishi-san, who the heck is he? That's Otaka-kun. A long time ago, he was showing off, even though he was bad at mahjong, so I taught him a lesson. Or maybe he's still holding a grudge for when he knocked him unconscious in that kendo tournament. Ha ha! Obviously, we didn't get along. Give me the latest update, Oishi-kun. Are you serious about storming the school? We were about to settle this peacefully with some sleeping pills. What are you trying to accomplish here? It's too late for that. If we had another hour, that would be possible. Instead, a special unit from the prefectural police department will move in. Your unit will be the backup. Chief, you know what's going on, don't you? That classroom itself has turned into a huge bomb. But even the classroom isn't the bomb we're scared of. It's the suspect, Yugurena. We finally calmed her down and found a way to settle this peacefully, and we were about to start the operation. I know we only have about 10 minutes, but I'll make sure this works. I'll continue negotiating. If it doesn't work, I'll be blown up. Then you can sit back and say, I told you so, okay? Oishi-kun, the special unit from the prefectural police department isn't just any old unit. You've heard about the second company, haven't you? What's that, Oishi-san? Is this second company that well known? You remember about 5 years ago when the JRA hijacked that airplane, Flight 42772? I've heard that special counter-terrorist units were put together in Tokyo and Osaka after that incident, so they really do exist. But why would a special unit from Osaka be here? Otaka smiled proudly. Oh my god! We just happened to be holding a training session with your prefectural police unit. We requested their help. You haven't changed, have you? You have a bad tendency to escalate matters quickly. The company members exited the vehicles one after another and took position. They didn't move like policemen. Otaka-kun, are you really going to have a gunfight here? One shot is all it'll take to trigger an explosion. Don't worry, they won't use firearms. They're using riot shields and riot guns. These guns send out tear gas at high pressures. There will be no issues with explosions. Wow, I've never heard of such convenient water guns. By the way, can that toy reach the classroom from across the schoolyard? You don't need to worry about that. You just move over and let us do our job. As I lifted my arms exaggeratedly, one elbow accidentally touched the car horn which honked. Of course, I did it on purpose. Are you trying to get Mayabara Keiichi's attention? Of course. I just hope he heard it. What are you gonna tell him now? They're probably thinking about breaking one of the windows with a grenade and then shooting tear gas into the room. You have no idea how serious Yugurena is. Deadly serious. Even the noise of a window breaking could drive her over the edge. Are you saying the special unit can't suppress her? Of course not! That's why we've been so careful. Yugurena has been intending to kill herself this whole time. A raid doesn't work on people who don't care about dying. We only have Mayabara-san now. Oishi-san, here he is. Hello, this is Oishi. If you can hear me, please cough. Cough, cough. This is an emergency. Please listen. I have a feeling it's not good news. Unfortunately, you're right. The prefectural police are getting involved. They're going to ruin everything we've worked for so far. There's a special unit about to break in. Hey, the only reason I haven't used my pepper spray is because that won't stop her from igniting the gas. A raid won't work. The prefectural police don't understand that. Yugu-san is prepared to die. They're assuming the lighter is just a threat and that she isn't really going to ignite the gas. They'll break in within 5 minutes or so. Please take the lighter from Ryugu before they move in. Is that in addition to your order to do something about the time bomb? Yes, that's right. You've got to be kidding me. You want me to take the lighter from Nana and do something about the time bomb too, all within 5 minutes? Come on. You're the only one we can count on. I'm begging you. How is it, Satoko? Can you think of something? I just have to check the hallway on the first floor to check whether it is there or not. Knowing Nana-san's patterns, if it was on the first floor, it would be there, and if it was on the second floor, it would be there. I just have to check to see if there is a cord in the hallway on the first floor, right? It should be there. If Nana-san was in a normal state of mind, I would know for certain, but with her being like this, I really cannot figure out her thought pattern right now. Okay, I'll do something. We don't even have time to think about it. I'll look into those two options myself. I don't want another tragedy. You demons down in hell, I bet you're just waiting for an amusing ending to unfold while eating some popcorn. Nom, 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 nom. I won't let that happen. I'm gonna change everything. and then I'm gonna make you pick up your popcorn off the floor. I spoke to Rena as she continued on with her story about the aliens. Eh? What is it? What's the matter, Keiichi-kun? Hey, didn't you hear something just now? And I went quiet and looked around. Rena had become totally paranoid about everything. Once she became worried, she couldn't ignore it. Really? Are you sure, Keiichi-kun? Yeah, I'm sure I heard something. I knew she'd want to check it herself, but she really couldn't leave the room for something like that. So, in that case, she'd have to ask me to check for her. And I must have been thinking the same thing. Hey, Chica, did you go check? And it gave me an order with a fake smile on her lips. Yeah, okay. And then watched me go out into the hallway. As I did, she spoke to me. Don't make me angry, okay? Trust me. I'm your friend. Yeah, I trust you. I trust you. So don't betray me, okay? After being freed from Nena, I looked for a cord in a hurry. I didn't even have 5 minutes. The office probably had more outlets than anywhere else. I headed for the teacher's office. Shit, where were the outlets? Like light switches, outlets couldn't always be found near entrances. Damn it, why did the clock in the teacher's office have to make such a loud ticking noise? Don't worry, Keiichi, we'll find it. Rena-san would. If I were Rena-san... San Marie was even more mistrusting than usual. Where would she set the trap? Perhaps like me ought to be able to discern that. What's this? I saw a plug inserted into the unit under the principal's desk, but I also saw a cord extending under the door to the reception room. There shouldn't have been any reason why a cord had to be extended into that room. The reception room had an outlet of its own. I tiptoed over to the reception room and opened the door. Squeak! The door squeaked as I cracked it open a little. I peeked my head inside the reception room. I saw the suspicious cord crossing the room and extending under the door to the hallway. I followed the cord through the reception room. I opened the door to the hallway and the cord was extending into the storage closet. The storage closet was used to hold cleaning chemicals. I could smell them from here. The cord was extending into there. I carefully opened the door and turned the light on. The cord was attached to another extension cord, and there was an alarm clock that didn't belong in there. I found it! A time bomb! So all I'd have to do was unplug the cord! I picked up the alarm clock. It looked like a normal alarm clock. Actually, it was a normal alarm clock. I remembered Kumagai-san calling it a kitchen timer. He said it was a bit like an alarm clock, but this wasn't a bit like an alarm clock. It was an alarm clock. Wait, didn't alarm clocks use batteries? This alarm clock was a battery-operated one, too. I looked at the extension cord, and there was nothing plugged into it. Eh? What was this extension cord for? Why was this extending all the way from the teacher's office? No, Keiichi-san, run! Satoko? It's the wrong place, you've been tricked! A black shadow was covering me. I felt my body freeze. It was so frozen that I felt it was about to crack. I turned around slowly and saw someone holding a hatchet above their head. I dropped the alarm clock. It made a noise as it hit the ground. Why did you follow the extension cord? And why did you have the alarm clock in your hand? Why did you? All the cells in my body were frozen. This was Rena's trap. Rena was suspicious of everyone, including me. This whole time, she thought there was someone connected to the people outside. This was a trap to lure that person out. Only the people outside knew about the time bomb. I was told about the whole thing, and so I followed the extension cord and picked up the alarm clock. How stupid of me. Wait, I trusted you, Keiichi-kun. How could you? Rena hit me with the backside of the hatchet earlier. It was painful, but it didn't kill me. But this time she was holding the hatchet the right way. It wouldn't just crack my forehead. It would split my entire head open. Rena lifted the hatchet mercilessly. She moved slowly, as if everything was in slow motion. She looked almost divine. Maybe it really was holy. I was praying, after all. Praying. What was I praying for? I was praying for my life. Ah! Nani? It was so sudden I couldn't tell what happened. Rika-chan had jumped onto Rena from behind. I didn't know what kind of weapon Rika-chan used, but Rena started moaning. It clearly hurt. That brought me back to reality. I couldn't just watch them. I had to get the lighter from Rena. Ah! Don't think you can win with mere force. And I knew I was after the lighter. She closed her fingers around it tightly. Rika-chan was grabbing onto the arm Rena was holding the hatchet in. I wanted to tell her to run, but thanks to Rika-chan, I could now use both of my hands to get at the lighter. Ah! The lighter flew out of Rena's hand, hit the hallway wall, and dropped down to the floor. I picked it up. At the same moment I did, Rena managed to shake off Rika-chan. Keiichi-san! I know now, I figured it out! I heard Satoko screaming from the classroom. Satoko had figured out where Rena hid the time bomb. I wanted to catch Rena, but I didn't have time for that. I had to do something about the time bomb instead. Keiichi, hurry up and go back to Satoko. Rika-chan had spread her arms, blocking Rena's path forward. What are you doing? Just run! Keiichi, this isn't the first time I've done this for you. Don't you remember? Eh? If I'd tried a little harder the previous time, you could have made it. So this time you are going to make it. Just go! I didn't know what Rika-chan was talking about. But there was one thing I did know. Just like Rena and Mion were ready to give up their lives for their friends, and I was willing to give up mine. Rika-chan was absolutely not prepared for that too. Don't fucking lie to me, game. You're lying. Therefore, telling Rika-chan to run was like telling her she wasn't my friend. And I don't even need to tell her to do that because she's perfectly willing to do it herself, as she will prove later in her life when she runs away and abandons her friend, which was what she does because that's what she's great at doing. She loves abandoning her friends. And so I will depend on my friend, the worst friend I should depend on, Rika-chan, the one who abandons you. Rika-chan, the abandoner. Thank you, Rika-chan! Keiichi-san, we are running out of time! Leaving it to Rika-chan, I dashed for the classroom. As soon as Rika heard Keiichi's footsteps reach the classroom door, she sighed in relief. As she did, Rena's black shadow came ever closer. That's great. That's just great. This isn't a club activity, you know. You'll be killed for real. You'll be killed by an angry Rena. You're not afraid of me, are you? You're amazing, Rika-chan. Rika grabbed a mop as she ran from the storage closet. She picked it up and held it upside down like a spear. Rika's stance told Rena that she was ready to fight. Rika didn't look like a little girl anymore. She looked so brave that Rena was even startled by it. Boy, you really are amazing. You aren't afraid of being killed at all, huh? Rika smiled cynically. Rika usually never smiled this way. Do you really think I would be afraid of death? I've experienced several hundred deaths up until now. Why should I be afraid of it all of a sudden? You aren't Rika-chan, are you? You're the one I met that night. Show yourself, alien! Where is the real Rika-chan? The real Rika? She's right here. Nipa! The way you're looking down on me, that really is like Rika-chan. I get it, Oyashiro-sama is an alien. The Furude family is descended from him, and therefore you are the descendant of aliens! I'll crack open your head and drag out all the parasites in your brain. And I raised her hatchet and charged with Rika with a scream. Yeah, one swing is all I need to smash your head open. And I looked like a beast charging towards its prey. Rika took a step backwards and lowered her body, preparing to counterattack. She did that with no hesitation. Even a minute is plenty. I'll play with you. Come on, hatchet girl. Do you not get it, Keiichi-san? All the hints were already in place this morning. Calm down, Satoko. Explain more slowly so I can understand. What are you trying to say? It's simple if you just remember. Come on, it's quite obvious what you do. Satoko, you're not helping. Hey, something stinks today. Close the windows. Silly, it'd be hotter in here if we closed the windows. We had been smelling gasoline coming from the outdoors. There were no forestry service people in the office, so they weren't doing any work today. The smell wasn't coming from anything they were doing. In other words, it was the smell of Rena's gasoline. Rena hid gasoline near the classroom. She had it in a plastic container. You can't smell gasoline that's in a plastic container, so in other words, she had more gasoline ready than just in the container she used to spread it around the classroom. Where was the smell coming from? Was it coming from outside? Vaporized gasoline is heavier than air. It sinks. There was another hint other than that. What? Our ball is missing! You hid it again, didn't you, Hojo? Why would I hide such a stupid thing? If I was going to hide something, I hide something better than that. Kids who love to play with their ball never lose it! It should have been in the same place it always was, but it was gone! So that must mean that Rena used it for something. The gasoline was coming from above. A ball was missing. So maybe it was stuffed somewhere. Edison blocked the drain with the ball and poured gasoline in the drain canal. Where? On the roof of the second floor. The drain canal extended along the roof of the second floor and then came straight down to the ground. It was plugged and filled with gasoline. It was like a huge Molotov cocktail that extended from the ground to the roof of the second floor. Furthermore, the drain canal ran by the classroom windows. If the canal exploded, the classroom would explode too. Therefore, the time bomb must be... I bet she ran an extension cord out the second floor window. It's on the rooftop! I picked up a pair of scissors and cut Satoko's bonds. By the way, how did Nika-chan free herself from the rope? I apologize for not being thin enough to slip out myself. I rubbed Satoko's head. Take care of the rest here. I'm going up to the roof. As I jumped out of the classroom, Satoko stopped me. Keiichi-san, here! What is it? Something silver sailed through the air. I caught it. It was a metal bat. That's Nini's. Make sure you give it back to me, okay? Sure thing! Thanks, Satoko. The metal bat fit right in my palm. I didn't even feel its weight. It really eased my mind. The name Satoshi was written on the handle. This was the bat that belonged to Satoko's brother, Satoshi. He was the victim of last year's tragedy. You and I, we're the same. I won't let another tragedy take place. I'll treat this as a gift from you who was waiting in the wings. Hell yeah! Let's rip apart the script of this demonic tragedy together. Let's go, Satoshi! As I tried to run up the stairs, I heard a loud noise coming from the hallway by the teacher's office. I saw Rika-chan rolling on the floor. Damn, Rika-chan, you're supposed to walk the dinosaur! You held out as long as you could. Damn it. My body were 5 years older. You'd be running away to a school and abandoning... Yes, I know. You'd be leaving and abandoning everyone you supposedly love and causing all sorts of problems. I know, you're a horrible person. If only you were 5 years older. I know, you're a real bitch. We get it. You're next, Keiichi-kun! Oh... Shit, I have to go! I have to get to the rooftop! How did you figure it out? How did you? Still, I won't let you get up there! And his face looked unbelievably scary. She was ready to rip me apart if she caught me. In that case, just try me. I jumped up the stairs, skipping every other step. I turned on the bug in my pocket. I didn't have time to put in the earphones. As Anna flew up the stairs, her foot got caught on a jump rope. Oof, she tripped and then 3 buckets fell on her head. Ha ha ha! The result of Satoko's trap. Ow, 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 ow! It was Satoko-chan, huh? Satoko leaned against the wall and waved her index finger in a mocking gesture. You were pretty good, but you were about 300 million light years too early to go up against a trap expert like me. Satoko-chan, light years are a unit of distance, not time. Smash! The 4th bucket hit Satoko on the head. Oh no! I continued up to the rooftop. Then I ignored Satoko and ran after me. Oishi-san, I did it! I got the lighter. I know where the time bomb is. It's on the rooftop in the drain canal. I'm headed up there right now. Oishi-san, is that it? Oishi grabbed the pair of binoculars from Kumagai and looked at the rain gutter on the rooftop. There was something like an alarm clock sitting there. The cord from the clock was extending into the second floor window. It was so obvious, but they didn't even notice until just then. Satoko was working hard to remove her classmates' restraints, but she couldn't do anything about the bike lock on Mion's neck. Just run, everyone! Forget about me! That doesn't sound like Mion-san. Why not act like our club president, even in a situation like this? All you have to do, as our president, is to give me an order to undo this lock, okay? Satoko reached for the back of her collar and produced a bent hairpin. Satoko opened the window, climbed onto the windowsill, and faced the bike lock that was restraining Mion. Man, imagine if this Higurashi had a good adaptation. This would be so fucking epic, you know? Like, this whole sequence would be so fucking epic. I know Dean probably tried their best, but like, goddamn. Everyone open the curtains and the windows, then run. But class prez, what about Mayabara-san? The police will help Kei-chan. You all need to run as soon as possible. Huh? Did you unlock it already? To me, this type of lock is child's play. The binoculars were trained on the classroom. All the curtains were open as well as the windows. The children in turn were all running out onto the schoolyard. Oishi pushed Otaka aside, then grabbed his radio and yelled into it. All units, go! Go, go! Secure the hostages! The suspect is going up to the second floor, running after one of them. Hey, what are you doing? Otaka tried to grab the radio from Oishi, but a Kumagai stepped in. Oishi-kun, give me back the radio. There was a dull noise and Otaka crumpled to the floor, convulsing even. Oops, sorry. I guess my knee happened to hit your balls. What kind of line is that? The classroom is still filled with gasoline. Be very careful. You are forbidden from using any gas bombs or flare. Again, do you not use gas bombs or flares. The whole place is a little blow. Support unit to HQ. We secured 24 hostages. One is injured. This is the assault unit. We're trying to take control of the first floor. We've got a problem. The electrical room is locked and we can't get in. You can't get in? Can't you break down the door? It's located directly opposite the classroom. The smell of the gasoline is strong here. We might ignite the gas when breaking down the door. We'll wait further orders. Shit! You could have just turned the power off. Forget the electrical room. Go secure the second floor. Assault unit, roger that. Alpha, go, go, go! Otaka-kun, what were you going to do if you failed to secure the electrical room? That's what the special unit was for. This is the problem with rich boys. We'll just have to secure the clock's outlet now. Sniper unit to HQ. I can see a male hostage on the rooftop of the first floor. Oishi-san, that's Mayabara-kun. Give me the speaker. Mayabara-san, the clock is plugged into the back room on the second floor. I shook my head repeatedly. I couldn't do that, and it was coming after me, so I couldn't head that way. What else could I do? The only way was to go up to the roof of the second floor and get the clock from there. Mayabara-san, continue up to the roof of the second floor. I'll direct you from there. Oishi-san was telling me to go further up. Satoko only told me that it was on the rooftop of the second floor, and she didn't tell me where exactly. She only said that it was in the drain canal. But maybe Oishi-san found it with his binoculars. I put my roof on the railing of the veranda and ran up to the rooftop. I had never felt so light. I felt like I could lift myself with just 2 or 3 fingers. That's it, keep going. It's at the furthest end of the drain pipe. You only have 30 seconds. Heh, 30 seconds would be plenty of time. I could get there in half that. Over there, was that it? It was! Sniper unit to HQ. I can see the suspect on the rooftop of the first floor. I wish you could fire, but you're using live ammo, aren't you? It's not tear gas or anything, is it? No, it's live ammunition. Use those in the military. Japanese police don't need anything like that. Mayabara-san, she's after you. Hurry! She'll be there soon. How many more seconds did I have? Who cares? Oh! I slipped down the roof and grabbed the kitchen timer that was sitting on the drain pipe, which was filled with gasoline. There was a cord with a copper wire attached to it. This was supposed to create sparks and start an explosion. The hands on the clock kept moving, with the second hand trying to reach the minute hand. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Oh! I threw it to the ground! A moment later, I heard the noise of something breaking. Ah. Did I do it? Assault Unit to HQ, the time bomb has been stopped. Yes! Oishi-san, we did it! Yeah! Mayabara-san, good job! Keiichi-san certainly made me nervous. Cutting it so close isn't elegant, you know. Not only policemen, but the children who are on their way to ambulances raise their voices and cheer! Oishi-san, there's a message from the fire department. The scene is still dangerous, so order all units to retreat immediately. Isn't the time bomb gone, though? Although the ignition device is gone, it's still extremely dangerous. The lives of the assault unit might be at stake. Damn! What about Mayabara-kun up there? Can he jump off? Oishi-san, according to the map, there's a flower bed by the school building. We'll tell him to jump there. Oishi to all units. Stop the operation. Fall back immediately. Fall back! Alpha here, roger that. Beta here, roger that. Fall back, fall back. Can you hear me, Mayabara-san? Ryugu-san too. It's too dangerous to stay there. It might explode at any minute. There's a flower bed by the school building. Jump down there. A flower bed? Damn it, I can't see it from here. But it didn't sound like I had enough time to be looking for it. I noticed a white hand at the edge of the roof, followed by Rena's head. Rena slowly crawled up to the rooftop. I waited for her there. I never thought you would find it. It was all for nothing. Rena scratched at her throat. The band-aids peeled off and her throat started to bleed. It's game over, Rena. We were confronting each other on the rooftop of the second floor. This wasn't a club activity, but a real battle. Rena was glaring at me with hatred at first. But maybe because she had already given up, she started smiling wickedly. I heard the chorus of the Higurashi in the background as if to cool us down from the heat of battle. I didn't think we needed their service yet, though. Yeah, if it was a board game, you'd have reached the goal and won. But this isn't a game. It's not a game! This isn't a goal. It's a dead end. Shit. You don't give up, do you? I know, you really are strong. You never give up. Never give up! You fight until the bitter end. Keep believing until that point, too. Just taking a drink of my Powerade here, don't mind me. Praise like that won't make me happy now. You ruined everything that I had risked my life for, Keiichi-kun. I was simply trying to protect our species from aliens. You ruined it. Baka! Humans go extinct. It'll be your fault, Keiichi-kun. That will be recorded in history. Baka! 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 God, this is really funny. I'm sorry. Yeah, okay, yeah. I didn't mean to laugh, but I couldn't help it. My name would be written down in the history books of the aliens as the one who destroyed the human species. Somehow that sounded kind of cool. I love you, Keiichi. Keiichi, you're the best. Rena, no matter what you have to say, I've won this game. I've already won, and you just don't want to admit it. That's all. Yeah, maybe you're right. But maybe that's not how it works. The game doesn't end. Oh, that's an and. The game doesn't end when there's a winner. It ends when there's a loser. That means for me, winning isn't enough. What do you mean? I tapped my shoulder with a metal bat, gesturing for Rena to come at me. Come at me, bro! Ooh! I'm gonna make you understand that you lost. I won't run or hide. You know why? According to the rules of our club, we don't run from our enemies. I'll prove to you that you're already lost, Rena. Are you ready? Parasites and aliens? How stupid! Who believe in things like that these days? I can only laugh. Ha 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 ha! You never believed me in the first place, yet you pretended that you did. How dare you deceive me! I won't forgive you. I'll never forgive you. I don't care if you believe in those things, but I would never believe in anything that stupid. Well, if I did have to believe in anything like that, I'd rather believe in the buried treasure of the Tokugawa shogunate. But if you still want me to believe, don't you remember our club's rules? Whoever conceived his victory is the correct one. There you go. Jenna and I grinned at each other, and as we went around in circles on the rooftop, we both checked the distance between us. If you can take me down, I'll believe in your alien stories. I'll perform a mysterious dance every morning and night to call for UFOs to come and beam up livestock. But Rena, if I take you down, then I want you to be ready. I don't think you even need to think further than that. I don't think you do. You will never defeat me. And it came at me with a heavy strike. I caught it easily with a metal bat. It looked like there were some sparks. This was finally getting interesting. Hey, maybe I shouldn't say that yet. You might be wrong, you know. When I went through a whole lot of fierce battles in our cub, I learned something. I learned about myself. Now I know what I need to bring out my ultimate power. Really? I wonder what it is. I wonder. And your hatchet can be a powerful weapon. But my metal bat is as powerful as your hatchet. Sure, it doesn't have a blade, but it reaches farther and it's easy to handle. I won't be going for a defensive battle. I'm gonna fight you face to face and I'm gonna defeat you. I'm sure I'm stronger than you physically, but you're better at drawing out your true potential, Rena. In other words, we're equally matched. This is great. I won't need to hold back at all. So what are you going to do after you beat me? Take that, and that, and that! I think I might have the upper hand. Ha! I'm just warming up. Just you wait and see. Wait and see what I do after I take you down. We've both put a lot of chips on the pile. Prepare yourself for having to make a big payout. Aren't you counting your chickens before they've hatched? Your bluffing is just pathetic. You don't get it, do you? My strength increases in proportion to my reward, don't you know? Let's see. You'll be my personal maid. Starting from the moment I wake up until I go to sleep at night, you'll serve me all day, every day. With Coach's help, you'll be wearing a different costume every day. Wait, until I go to sleep at night? What if I make it so that you won't let me sleep instead? Oh, how about that? That's so like you, Keiichi-kun. No, thank you. Actually, I'll win and make you my servant. We both laughed like crazy people as we struck at each other. It was strange how much fun it was becoming. Jenna and I were trying to kill each other, and yet it was a blast. Sparks were flying. We could get seriously injured. If we fell off the rooftop, we'd break our bones, yet this was so much fun! I had been mourning and crying all day today while Rena terrified me. How did all that turn into this? The two of us can't be serious even if we try. Even with sparks flying, we can only goof around. Too bad. That's not me. I like being elegant and graceful. You can have fun goofing around by yourself, Keiichi-kun. And his next strike came at a strange angle, but I managed to deflect it. Whoa! Ha 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 ha! That's too weak. You're done. Ha ha! Finally, I'm all warmed up. This is just a warm-up, right? Huh? Stupid. This isn't even a warm-up. This is like taking a walk. Hey, you're all sweaty. Instead of sweat, you'll be covered in your own blood. Mayabara-san! Jump off! Come on, jump! He isn't even listening to us! He's so into it that he can't hear anything. Moshi-san? Sorry, what is it? What do you mean, what is it? We have to figure out a way to rescue him. Oishi couldn't figure out why he was distracted, considering the seriousness of the situation. He was engrossed in watching the two of them fight with the sunset behind them. But Oishi wasn't the only one. Everyone watching was captivated by their battle on the rooftop. At that moment, a sudden loud voice broke the silence. Mayabara-san, hang in there! Careful, don't fall! Watch your step now, watch your step, don't fall! The students who were about to climb onto the ambulance were cheering him on. Mion was being loaded onto a stretcher with bandages around her head, but even she sat up, captivated as she was by Rena and Keiichi's duel. Our once happy days were supposed to have been shattered due to a series of misunderstandings. They were supposed to be irretrievable. But, why? Why did I feel this way? This was such a close game, but it wouldn't be fun to stay in a stalemate forever. And I kicked at each other with perfect timing and increased the distance between us. Hey! This is a blast! What do you think, Rena? Isn't this just the best? I've been having fun since the very beginning. But it'll be even more fun to split your head open, Keiichi-kun. Split it open! Wow, that's dangerous. Over here. Come back over here. Let's use more space. Something like this doesn't happen too often. Let's enjoy it as much as we can. This would make a great picture. Look, there's a beautiful moon behind us. The breeze feels great. It was such a fantastical scene. Two people were fighting on the rooftop of a school building with the moon behind them. It was almost unbelievable. All the policemen and children looked at that mysterious and fantastical scene from a distance, completely entranced. Everyone was thinking the same thing, but nobody said anything. Why does it look like they're having fun? Getting all fired up in a breeze this cool. It reminds me of the Watanagashi festival. I don't really like to just sit back and enjoy the cool of the evening in silence. When the moon comes up, I turn into an animal. All us club members went crazy on the night of Watanagashi. The mayor scolded us by the end of it, but we laughed at each other and promised to do the same thing again next year. Going crazy under the moon, huh? That sounds cool, doesn't it? Maybe we're already crazy. Yeah, I feel the same. We're having fun trying to kill each other. We must be mad already. This must be what insanity is like. Some people say the moon has the power to arouse passions in people. Maybe that's true, and maybe it's not. One thing that's for sure is that even if it were a new moon tonight, we would still feel the same way. As our surroundings got darker, the sparks we'd create with each hit started to look like fireflies. Hey now, isn't there gasoline in the train pipe right nearby? Who cares? If an explosion happens, it happens. Hey, what are you doing? Are you getting too sweaty to hold the bat? Why don't you take a break and dry your hands off? I'll split your head open while you do that, though. That's a good one. Isn't your skirt clinging to your legs? You can take it off if you want. I'll just watch you instead of attacking. Really? Then I'll give you a good blow to the head while you're charmed by my legs. This really is so much fun, isn't it, Rena? Yep, it sure is. We flew, we danced. We struck, we laughed. We stepped back once in a while to catch a breath and then charged at each other and let the sparks fly. We aimed at each other as we went around in circles on the rooftop of the school, our special stage. Rena and I were all sweaty. But we weren't exhausted yet. The beads of sweat rolling down my body just tickled me. We exchanged furious blows, one after the other. Neither of us was at an advantage or disadvantage. Neither of us exulted in victory or raged in defeat. This battle with Rena in itself was fun. It was like a dance. A dance I couldn't dance by myself. It was a dance I could only dance with someone with whom I was equally matched. Didn't you think the same thing I did when we did that club activity with the whole class? The day we dueled with water guns? Yeah, I did! We wanted to fight like this again! As we thought that way on the rooftop, our classmates down below must have thought the same. Our fight was so pure and passionate that everyone thought the same thing. We want to join them! It was the same back then. We were using water guns, but we did the same thing. But this is far more fun. I don't have to worry about how much water I have left in my gun. Yeah, we can't create sparks with water guns. We couldn't strike at each other like this either. We both were breathing hard, waiting for the right timing to take a step forward. In the midst of that, we grinned at each other. Ooh, this is exactly what I said then, but I'm gonna say it again. Okay then, I'll respond just the same. We both smiled wickedly in the same moment. This is so much fun! I don't even want to end this. Don't hate me if you lose. No, I won't. I'd hate myself for ending this game. But I know I wouldn't be the one to cry in the end. I don't know about that. Your feet are getting weak, as if they're made out of straw. Shut up! Oh. Everyone was captivated by our fight. They were swept up in our fight. We both had weapons deadly enough to seriously hurt one another. But we were both perfectly matched, and neither one of us had hit the other yet. Why did they look so happy? This was just ridiculous! All the people below were just watching this fight on the rooftop with the beautiful moon as a backdrop. Not even the police could stop them. This was impossible! This battle was absurd and absolutely impossible! Keiichi-san, try to stay in the middle of the roof! Use the height to your advantage! Stantoko and some of her classmates cheered Keiichi on, but there were some who were cheering for Rena too! To them, this was no longer a fight to the death. It was just the second round of their water gun battle. A club activity is a club activity, and a game is a game. This was just the second round, so nobody would die. Even though they had real weapons, nobody thought they would get hurt. Rika wasn't cheering. She was just looking at the rooftop. I've never seen anything like this before, Rika thought to herself. She thought Keiichi could win, not just against Rena. Rika thought Keiichi could even destroy the walls of the maze of tragedies that had no exit. What are the snipers doing? This suspect is trying to harm the hostage. Fire immediately! As Otaka yelled into the radio, Mion screamed for him to stop. No, don't shoot Rena. Rena isn't crazy anymore. She isn't who she was earlier. That's a different Rena, so please don't shoot her. What do you mean she's different? Look! She's swinging around that weapon! She's trying to kill him! Unless we shoot her down, the hostage is in danger! No, don't shoot at Rena! If you shoot Rena, Kei-chan will kill you for sure. I can guarantee it. Why would he kill me? They aren't trying to kill each other. They're just having fun creating sparks. Can't you see? Kei-chan is talking to her too. He's telling her that they're equal. That means she can trust him more than anyone. Kei-chan will wake Rena up. No, he's already waking her up. And his nightmare is almost over. Keiichi-kun, you're the best. I don't even want to kill you anymore. A world without you would be so boring. Ha! Thanks for the compliment. I appreciate it. So what's going to happen to the world, huh? Are aliens trying to invade it? You know, I don't even think I care about aliens or parasites anymore. If the world is going to perish, go ahead and perish. Who cares about the conspiracy of the three families anyway? That's right, even if a meteor hits the Earth tomorrow. Nothing could be more fun than this moment. Hey, aren't you supposed to die tonight due to some poison? You sure don't look like you only have a few hours left to live. That's right, I completely forgot about that. I'm supposed to claw out of my throat and die tonight. Hey, that's the scenario you came up with, don't forget. Come on, scratch your throat once in a while at least. Hey, I know, it doesn't itch anymore, does it? It definitely doesn't. This is more fun than scratching your throat could ever be. Yeah, this dance of ours is really way more fun. It really is way more fun. I wished it would never end, but my body was screaming. I was breathing hard and felt dizzy from lack of oxygen. My upper body felt as light as a piece of paper, as if even a slight breeze could take me away. It really had been a blast, but I needed to end it soon. I felt the same sadness as in that water gun fight. Back then, it had been declared a draw. I wonder what will happen this time. Who knows? You and me. That was a weird hiccup. Uh-oh. But one thing is for certain. What? I loved doing this with you. Me too! I jumped backwards and slammed the roof with my bat. The sound was as intense as a huge drum, and the noise woke up the people who were captivated by our fight. The silence returned, and the chorus of Higurashi filled the air. Okay, let's pause for a moment. Sure, let's end this with one more strike. We started to move slowly. It increased the distance between us. Everyone realized it. This fight was ending very soon. Okay, this is it. I'm going to ask you one more time. What is it? Hey, you're betting something on this, right? Isn't that why you were fighting? I did? Sorry, I forgot. You're hopeless. Okay, listen carefully. If I win, you'll become my personal maid and serve me every day. You'll have to introduce me to others as your master. My uniform better be cute. Of course it will. There'll be a variety of uniforms, ranging from old-fashioned ones to ones that are a little dangerous. They'll be custom-made, so they'll fit you perfectly. How about that? My goodness, I don't intend to lose, but that could be fun somehow. If you win, Rena, I paused for a moment. If you win, I'll believe your stories. Rena was happy until just a moment ago, but that expression was suddenly wiped from her face. Aliens are invading the Earth, and we have parasites in our brains. The Sonozaki family is pulling the strings. They're researching the parasites in secret, and aliens will be in control of the world starting tomorrow. I will believe in that. Also, since you're dying tonight, I'll make sure you go peacefully, so don't worry. It's not fun if I win, is it? The reward sounds a lot more fun, Keiichi-kun. Oh, what can I do? You did all this because of what I just said, right? Yeah, I guess. Sorry, I almost forgot. Rena smiled sadly for a moment, but soon that expression was wiped off her face too. I'm going to win no matter what. I want my personal maid. Ooh, it's not fun if I win. Then do you want me to change it? What do you want? Finally, Rena smiled happily again. The breezes dried our sweat. It was a good feeling. We no longer went crazy, even with the moon out. We could finally enjoy the coolness of the evening. It would be so nice if we could just go lie down on our backs and gaze at the moon. Still smiling a little, Rena spoke. I want the same reward as yours, Keiichi-kun. What? You want me to be your maid? That's something. You don't have to be my maid, but the rest is the same. I want you to say good morning to me every morning and good night every night. I want you to treat me well and let me play around all the time. I guess no matter who wins, we'll always be together. We'll be together, but the one who gets the special treatment is different. Laughter, laughter, laughter. Why am I fighting with someone I like so much? I don't know. Why are we on the rooftop? Why did we even come up here in the first place? I don't know. I forgot. Maybe we're both airheads. That's why we floated up here. Yep, we're airhead buddies. We're buddies, all right. Well then, shall we get started? I don't want to cool down too much. You're right. We better finish up before it gets too cold. We readied our weapons and took our stances. I was going to suggest that we stop this. I really was. I shook my head slowly. No, we have to finish this. Otherwise, it won't end. Our fight won't end. We can't quit. We have to bring it to an end. This isn't right. It's possible that no matter who wins or loses, there will be no reward. Even if that happens, we shouldn't hate each other. So I'm going to tell you this now. What? It was fun. Yeah, I feel the same way. Anna, even if one of us dies, we'll see each other again. And when we do, we'll have fun in a normal way. We'll laugh together in a normal way. And we'll fall in love in a normal way. We won't doubt each other. We'll trust each other. We'll meet again. Right? For sure, right? Yes, for sure. Tears appeared in Anna's eyes. I noticed I was about to break down too. Okay. Are you ready? There was no signal, but we stepped forward at the same time. Our shadows jumped in the moonlight. We were fighting so viciously earlier, but now it was like we were moving very slowly. We must have looked like a shadow play. Everyone was watching the shadows dance, and a shadow hit my metal bat violently. As a result, I let go of it. The metal bat bounced once on the roof and rolled down to the schoolyard. I had lost my weapon. Here was Rena's chance. Of course, she wouldn't miss it. I was lying flat on the roof, and Rena got on top of me. And his knees were holding down my arms, and there was no way for me to fight back. The moon was divided in two. The shadow of Rena's hatchet had split the moon right down the middle. This was the end. That was good. I can't even pull my arms away. Hey, Keiichiku? It's over, right? Not yet. It's not over until you swing down your hatchet. I don't wanna. Huh? I don't want to. I don't want to. And his arms were still raised, but tears were pouring down from her eyes. What happened? What went wrong? I loved everyone, and I trusted everyone. When did I start to doubt them? But why I'm doing this to you? I don't know. Why am I doing this to people I love so much? You realized it. You realized it in this world. Believe myself. Today was so much fun, but why? Why? I didn't have any complaints. I didn't worry about anything. But why did I just try to destroy everything with my own two hands? Rena, you're incredible. After I killed you and Mion, I didn't realize I had done anything wrong, so I left a note and called Oishi-san. I still believed that someone else was at fault. Even after I was dead. I didn't even notice I had sinned. How sad it was to kill my friends because of a little misunderstanding, even when they were trying to help me. And how painful it was not to realize that it was a sin. Therefore, you're amazing, Rena. You didn't kill any of your friends. You came to your senses before you committed a sin. I mean, that's being a little generous. You're incredible, Rena. Just incredible. You're totally different from me. Rena stood up slowly and lowered her hatchet. I hurt my friend. I hurt Michan. Let's apologize to her. Personally, I appreciate that the wounds will help tell the twins apart. Dude! Dude, that's so fucked! I've already killed. Huh? No, you haven't. Who did you kill? Mami Arena and Onjo Teppei. Those two. I mean, who cares? I thought it was right to kill them, but the day I killed them, the world started to go crazy. Did that mean that it was wrong to kill them? I don't know if it was right or wrong, but it wasn't the best thing you could have done. What do you mean, the best thing? Don't you know? I grabbed Rena's hand and embraced her. And I told her something so simple. It was so simple that anyone could think of it. But Rena didn't do it. I didn't do it either, back then. If you were in danger, or you feel like doubting others, or something sad happens, it was so simple. You should talk to your friends. That's right. You're right. Oh. Rena cried in my arms for a while. She cried about the wrong choice she made at the very beginning. The choice couldn't have been hard to see. I'm sure it was something that was within her grasp. How stupid it was to worry about it by herself. She had friends. She had friends whom she trusted. Why did she think she couldn't talk to her friends about it? I was wrong. Why didn't I talk about it? Everyone trusted me, so why didn't I trust them? I was the same way before. That's why I won't laugh at you, but you realized it. You realized it a lot sooner than I did. We will trust each other. We will never doubt our friends. We will rely on each other. We will talk to each other and help each other. Translator's note. Furude Erika is absolutely and under no circumstances included in this we. She is never ever included in this we because she is a lying liar who lies. Just for y'all's knowledge. That's why friends are always happy and why we can endure anything together. Never gonna let it go. Never gonna let her live it down. Never gonna... I don't know. Anyway, I'm ruining the moment. I'm sorry. That's why friends are always happy, unless their name is Satoko when they get betrayed by Rika. That's why we can endure anything together. Okay, Rena. Why don't we respond to the curtain call? This is really the end of everything. But what do you mean by the curtain call? What do you mean? Well, I was just talking to myself. Come on. We stood up together, holding hands. The moon was hanging behind us. When I nodded, Rena threw away her hatchet, disappeared into the darkness below. And I spoke to the audience in hell, the demons, who weren't expecting this ending. I was proclaiming victory. That's all for tonight. We overcame this tragedy. We'll never doubt each other again. We'll be united forever. No matter what disaster might befall us, don't think we'll ever yield. Who cares about tragedy? Who cares about disaster? Even if the script is written by demons, we'll tear the whole thing to pieces. Whoa, listen to this! The incident at the forest survived. The anime at the forest survived field office in Hinamizawa. Okay. You think this scene was kind of ridiculous compared to the anime? Maybe. I'd have to rewatch it. I thought it was pretty epic. I mean, I got into it. You know, a lot of this was ridiculous. An event, mid-J, June 25th, location Hinamizawa, Shishibone City, X Chome, inside the Forest Service field office. Summary, the suspect, Yugurena, broke into the Forest Service field office. She forced her way into the classroom of the local school housed within the office complex and proceeded to take 25 people hostage. The suspect scattered around a large quantity of gasoline and held the school hostage for over 7 hours. The situation remained in a deadlock for some time, but at 1845, several hostages resisted and fled from the building. At the same time, a special unit from Osaka Police Department's 2nd Riot Division arrived on the scene. 24 of the hostages were safely rescued. The remaining hostage fled to the roof, and after a brief pursuit, the suspect engaged him in close combat. At 1910, she agreed to disarm and surrender, freeing the final hostage. Casualties: 4, all minor injuries. Sonozaki Mion. She was captured by the suspect around noon that day. She escaped at 1845 and was taken in safely. The suspect inflicted minor injuries on her during the fight. Furude Erika, she was captured by the suspect around noon that day. She escaped at 1845 and was taken to safety. She suspected of minor injuries. Hojo Santoko, same as above. Mayabara Keiichi, same as above. He was released at 1910. He received minor injuries where he engaged in combat with the suspect. I think the thing with the anime is it had really, as I recall, bad animation. Because I mentioned earlier, this would have been fucking epic if Dean's adaptation was better. Regarding the arrest, Higurashi, she disarmed and surrendered to the police at 1910, was subsequently arrested. She was taken to the Okinomiya police station and questioned. She admitted to the outline given above. There has been some dispute about the accountability of the suspect during the crime, but after subjecting her to a psychiatric examination, the prosecution determined the suspect is fully accountable for her actions. No! No! She wasn't, though! She is now, but she wasn't. The defense is in direct opposition to this and has submitted their own psychiatric examination report denying the suspect's accountability. The trial is currently in session. Oh, interesting. Reina never did give that thing she found back to Kasai. You gotta do the full, where are they now? What does this say? Oh, just Higurashi no Nakokoro ni When They Cry, Kai. This game features a scenario jump. What? What? Wonder what that means.